Good morning, gamers, and welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all feeling fine. And welcome to the morning news. It's an exciting day because I think I started some drama. But welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from, why you're watching, what you should be doing instead of watching, and what do you want to do today? Welcome. We do love drama slop. A little bit of drama slop on a Wednesday. Hell yeah. Surely not late. I wasn't late. I messaged at 10:14 saying I was getting a drink. That means I'm not late. If you text your boss, you're gonna be a minute late because you're grabbing a coffee. Are you gonna get done for being late? Mikey pokes a wasp nest. Also Mikey. Anyway. Oh no. Anyway. But let me know how you're all doing. How you're all having a great time. What have I been up to for the past day since I last saw you all? It's been a very long day. But I've been playing with the laser cutter, you know? You might have seen on Twitter that, or X, or whatever the fuck you want to call it these days, that I managed to get Georgie on board with the laser cutter. Where is it? Let me find it. I didn't prepare for this bit because I just remembered that you might have seen it. I got something in my hand to show you. But last week, I was fucking about with the laser cutter. And this is what I made for Georgie. I made a mood board. And by mood board, I mean this is a test piece. And I didn't know what to cut. Well, you haven't burnt the house down, so it can't have gone too bad. It didn't go too bad. So I made this, and she kept telling me off. Hey, Mercenary, thank you so much for the gifted. You're a star, mate. Thank you so much for kicking us off today. Paco, make sure you say thank you to Mercenary Q. You can now join our Discord for free for 30 days because you are a freeloader. And when at the end of it, when you realise it's the best place to be on the planet, maybe you want to consider becoming a member and then maybe passing on the gift of membership later. But we are trying to hit 10 members every single stream. We've got 1, we've got 9 to go. So thank you so much, Mercenary Q. Really appreciate it. So anyway, yeah, I made Georgie a mood board. The first thing I did was a cat. Then I did Levi Ackerman, and then I did John Kirstein from Attack on Titan. We did Harry Styles and Taylor Swift. So she's well on board with the laser cutter now. She's like, it's the best thing you've ever got. It's the best thing you've ever got. But I did actually manage to... This is actually just cardboard, which I thought was quite cool. This is literally the packaging it came in, as you can see. It's just a piece of corrugated cardboard. Come on now. I made a little 3-inch widget, which I thought was cool. It's just like a little test piece. So this is... it's like 3-inch. It's great for Age of Sigmar to know if you're in combat or if you've got like a 3-inch charge or something like that. But I'm thinking about maybe making some like widgets, like a little pack of them. So like a 3-inch, a 6-inch, and a 9-inch. Which I thought would be cool. And it's Small Bug Gang. Look at that. Hashtag Small Bug Gang. So I actually did this just in card. That's just cardboard as like a test. And I did one in acrylic and it did look quite nice. Is the drama related to the laser cut? No, the drama is real drama. Real bad drama. And it is my fault, probably. I should do it 3 times 1 so you have engagement range. I was thinking about doing like thin packs and then a 3x1 as well. Because I have 3 MDF 3x1s already, which are quite nice. Please do your next business cards on them. Yeah, to be fair, like metal business cards are hot. And I was thinking about doing one. How does it smell? So, like, when it's cutting, like, wood and stuff, it's fine. When I was cutting the acrylic, I was a bit like, I'm going to have to put this in my shed. Yeah. So, lads and ladies, I've been thinking about it for a while. I've spoken to everyone about it. I think I need a commercial space. You know? I think, like, I need somewhere where I can film battle reports, but also, like, stream and work from. So, I'm thinking about moving all of this out of here. All of this around us, the print farm and the battle report studio all into one place, probably next year. But yeah, I think for acrylic, it needs to be outside. For like cardboard and MDF, you can kind of get away with it. It's just, it smells like toast. It's quite nice. But like melting plastic, not great. Should do that. 3 inches, now I can whip out 2 things to see if I'm in combat. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, so I'm thinking about doing like a little pack, like 3, 6, and 9, because they're quite thin, which is quite nice, and then doing like a 3x1 as well. Please don't bring out a 3-inch ruler. My missus will know I've been exaggerating for years. Excellent. Well done. What have I done this time? I think a lot of people know what I've done. It's just developed. That's the thing. So there is some real drama that I potentially started that we need to talk about. And then there's some kind of generic drama, which I don't know if I'm going to cover yet. And then I thought what we could do. So we've got drama to cover. Then we could talk about things that came up over the weekend of like that might be FAQable, that might be needed for a certain event that is happening. Jesus, it's happening next week. Jesus Christ. For a tournament next week, because I've got like a bit of an FAQ written down. I want to just finalize that and get it out today. So I thought maybe you guys could help. And any other weird rules interactions that you've got that don't make sense, we could get those wrote down. We could write the FAQ on stream. And then I got the Night Lancer. So Games Workshop initially didn't send me one of these. So I asked nicely and they sent me one anyway. So it's very cool of Games Workshop to send me one. So it's not preview week, but this is a preview copy. But it came after preview week. But it was super cool. And there's some interesting things about the sprues on this. So I thought we'd look at that as well. How many printers do you have in your printing farm? In use or in total? That's the question. In use, it doesn't sound so bad. In total, too many. But yes, I thought we'd have a look at this because it's like I really like Imperial Knights. I love, you know me, I love big robots, and Games Workshop didn't send me one, so I was like, please, please, sir, can I have one? And they sorted me out. So, how many printers do I have in my printing farm? So I've got 4 FDM printers and 3 resin printers in use. So 7. I think I have another 10 not doing anything. And I got that new one to review. I've been sent another one. And it's very big. It's like a dental printer. I'm not going to tell you about the brand yet, just because I'm doing a video for it. But it's like a dental size print. It's really big. It's like 35 kilograms. It was fucking awful trying to get it in the house. Have you tried the bamboo carbon? I haven't, mate, no. Begging GW for scraps. I had to ask really nicely. I was a bit like, come on, bro. Why have I been missed off? I haven't done anything this week. This week. Bold. Italics. So yeah, so we can have a look at the sprue on that, and then maybe we'll, I was going to paint it on stream, but it's still in the box, so we probably might build it on stream. We could like watch videos and build it. I don't know, or we could just build it. So that's the plan. That's the plan. How does that sound? Does that sound okay? Shooter's blood and 3D printed teeth. Excellent. Please, I want a tonic, have a prize. And I asked them before I went. The secret of the Lancer is that its shield has a hole in it. Miracle Dawn 2.0. It does. It does. But yeah, it's a real drama to start off with. And it's about my video last week. GW not sending kits to one of YouTube celebrities, the shock. Yeah, because I was like, I want to review, I want to have a look at it, because this is like a kit I'm super excited about, and it's the one Heresy kit I haven't received, so I was like, can I have one please? And they're like, yeah, go on then. I was like, boys, let's go, baby. That's what happened. I'm looking forward to sitting with my Lancer kit the weekend and working out how to pose it. Yeah, I think the posing of the Lancer can be like really hit and miss. I watched Cult of Paint's video about theirs yesterday, and I was like, that's a really nice way to pose it. It's very subtle, and I liked it. So I'm probably going to try and do something similar. But I've always wanted a Lancer. I've nearly bought the 4-door one maybe 5 times. And it's been one of those, it's like, I can't afford this. I can't afford this now. But the plastic one's a lot cheaper, I think. It was like 50 quid cheaper, I think, to buy. Retail, I only get discount because it's plastic, because you can get it from third-party retailers. It's a lot cheaper than the old 4-drawer one, but the only 4-drawer one I have is the Atropos. My Resin Lancer, this is worthless. I always wanted to. Do you remember the old Blast templates? Apocalypse Blast template. 7th edition Blast templates. Let's see if we can find it. The idea, because when it came out, I think it was 7th edition. It was definitely 7th edition. That's why I was playing an Atropos. There was some special edition Blast templates that had like energy in them, if anyone remembers. Here they are. Oh shit, no, don't show that. I might show my address. I'll just open the picture. Sometimes eBay's really shit at just showing my address. These ones. Does everyone remember these ones? So I always wanted to get this and then chop out the energy bit and then stick that in the Lancer because I thought that'd be fun. But now I could probably just print something. Docs mode on. Yeah, eBay really good at doxing. Glory be, is that Mikey Hellstorm, winner of the Warhammer World GT? It is, in the flesh, via the internet. But yeah, so the Lancer shield feels like it should have this going across it, but it doesn't. But so like, I think it'd be sick to do something like that for the shield to make it look like an energy shield. Digging through stuff the other day, I found a set of Warhammer Fantasy Battle metal domes from Winds of Magic or something. Yeah! I used to have the Vortex template, which is the same. Because of the Atropos. Vortex template. 40k. This shit. You mean this shit? Like that? Just a fucking half a sphere for some reason. I never understood it. I had this one, I think. I think I still have it somewhere. I probably do. Give your tabs. Rancid Fever. Don't be looking at my tabs. Jesus. Do that. Spoilers. Did these come out at the same time as the Silver Skull dice and Laz Ammo dice? I think so. But yeah, I used to have one of these because the Atropos, because it was like had like the void cannon. It used to like shoot its cannon. It had like the singularity mode, and if you rolled like a 6 twice in a row or something like that, it left a vortex template that moved around and killed shit. Pretty fun. More fancy ones are there. These ones, these are the Winds of Magic ones. They're literally the same, just a different colour. They're literally the same, just a different colour. These are the Winds of Magic, I think. They got a bit obsessed with like metal. They got a bit obsessed with templates, didn't they? They were just like, we need representation of everything. Riverside, that is really off topic, mate. Did you nuts and good biscuits? Yeah, yeah, very, very, very off topic. But yeah, all it was is just a fucking metal dish. It's just an upside down ball. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, shall we do the drama since it's being leaked in chat? Just open the pack for it. Yeah, whatever. Chat. Don't think I ever use them. Imagine trying to figure out how many models are under it. You just drop it on top of them. If they fall over, they're dead. Shall we do some drama? Is everyone ready for drama time? Play Heresy Vortex still exists. Yeah, it still exists in Heresy, but it's the same game, right? Basically. What 8th could have been? I think fuck. Hey, Big C, thank you so much for the gifted membership, buddy. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much for coming and gifting that membership. Capping Chaos, I think you're already in the Discord, but if you're not, please join. You can join for free for 30 days. Always ready for the drama. Why else do I come here? That's true. That's true. Okay. So, chat. I think perhaps, potentially, I might have upset someone. I might have upset someone and started some drama. but really, technically, I'm trying to find a song. That's why I'm stalling. I'm sorry. Technically, I don't think I started the drama. I merely signal boosted the drama. Okay. That's what you have to think. Potentially signal boosted the drama. So last Monday, we spoke about the one and only Green Stuff World. Does everyone remember that video? Or the stream, even, if you didn't watch it? And the point is the entire video was based on this tweet. From WePrint Miniatures, because WePrint Miniatures is another company trying to sell brush rinsers, and they were essentially buying them from China. And the chat's not working for some reason. There you go. So yeah, so it's essentially, long story short, allegedly, WePrint Miniatures put out a tweet. They did put out a tweet. That's not allegedly, but they claimed that Green Stuff World were abusing the Vera system due to IP, because they were saying that they said, not I'm saying, they said that Green Stuff World were buying Chinese brush rinsers and then reselling them. And that was kind of like something that we went over as part of the stream. And yeah, like we looked at the website Temu, and they were selling loads of brush rinser type products that Green Stuff World were selling. And WePrint Miniatures felt like Green Stuff World were buying them from China and then reselling them, and then issuing patent claims through whatever system to stop other people doing the same thing. Mikey joined that stream. I'm probably going to get sued for saying this. So yeah, the thing is I have to make sure I do say the right thing, because I am not claiming anything. I am talking about what other people are saying and telling you my opinion. I'm not telling you facts. So just to clarify, this is all my opinion. It might not be facts. Allegedly. Anyway, so I made a video about it, as you can see. So I streamed about it on the Monday, and I made a video about it, and it kind of blew up. 63,000 views in 5 days. It's honestly one of my most viewed videos ever, which was quite surprising, to be honest, because I've talked about Green Stuff World in the past and things that they've done that I've not agreed with, and things that aren't allegedly, such as taking other people's artwork without permission. That is something that did happen. They came out and apologized for it, which is, fair enough. But this one kind of went a little bit crazy. And I think it surprised me, and it probably surprised them as well. But anyway, there's been an update to this, because Green Stuff World actually responded, which did shock me, to be honest. Now, at first, when I saw the response, I was kind of like, oh, I probably should have made a video about this. However, there's reasons that I'm going to be leaving my video up afterwards, but I'll explain straight after. What's funny for me, since you made that video, I've got tons of Temu YouTube ads for that specific brush rinser. Yeah, exactly. So essentially, my video was essentially looking at what WePrint Miniatures were talking about, and they claimed that Green Stuff World were taking products from China and reselling them, and then patenting them through the EU IPO or whatever system it was, and then stopping other people doing it. Okay, that was what the WePrint Miniatures were saying. That's what but then I kind of said that could be the case, because Green Stuff World have a track record with other products that they sell, that they kind of did very similar things, where they took a product, patented it that wasn't theirs, and then claimed it was theirs. So So that's kind of like what you missed out of that video. If you want to go watch it back, feel free to go watch it back. Now, Green Stuff World actually responded, like, yes, maybe Monday, I think it was, or for a couple of days ago. But anyway, Green Stuff World put out a video, and this was the video. It's called "We Show You the Secret of Our Brush Rinser," and here it is. Say that this is directed at me would be very big-headed. However, I made a video about their brush rinser that got 60,000 views in like 4 days. People on Twitter kind of complained about it, and then they released this video. But, you know, there's a man mixing some polystyrene, and then there's a machine pulling them out from somewhere. So I imagine they're not pulling them out from another cardboard box from behind the machine and putting them on the front of the machine. I think they probably are making them themselves. Now, there's some interesting things about this video. The fact that the description is very telling of what the point of this was. It was Green Stuff World. The secret of the brush rinser. Exactly. The secret of our brush rinser is that it's a 100% Spanish product designed and manufactured in Spain by a Spanish company. So I thought that was quite interesting that they actually responded, and I highly commend them for putting out some sort of response. But what they did with that response is that they essentially posted it on Twitter as well, and they said a little more to add with a winky face, and only people who Green Stuff World have added can respond now. On this video, they've disabled their dislikes and comments, which is not normal for a Green Stuff World video, because if you look at the previous video, how to paint red, the dislikes are on and the comments are on. So they've disabled dislikes and comments on this video talking about the brush rinser, and then on the tweet where they've talked about it, they've turned off comments or turned off replies unless they mentioned them. And then what they've done is they've gone through like just doing normal things, and they've been spamming this video, which is honestly fair enough. You know, if people are coming out and saying this is a Chinese product that they're selling, and they're saying no, we make them in Spain, I'd fully respect them for going out and saying no, here we are, we're making it. However, the problem I have with this is that whilst they've addressed one thing that I mentioned in my video, and one thing that was mentioned on Twitter, they haven't really addressed any of the other concerns, such as talking about the tube roller, which allegedly was stolen from Bee's Putty, and then they took that product and then stopped them selling it on eBay. And also talking about the PK Pro distribution of the leaf punchers that we also mentioned, where the similar thing happened, kind of like the product came out and then Green Stuff World came out straight after, allegedly came out straight after, and copyrighted and put an IP claim on the punch system. Essentially, the two things we went over in that video that may or may not be true, which look like they may be true, they haven't addressed, which is like, it's good to address one thing, totally fair enough, you're looking after yourself, you're looking after your business, but to then not address the two big ones, which are kind of like, this might be true about the brush rinser because these happened in the past, and there's been no public apology or public addressing of those two issues, is a real big shame in my opinion. But also with this brush rinser, they said it's fully made. What was the exact wording so I can get this correct? They claim it was designed and manufactured in Spain by a Spanish company, which I can totally respect. If they've got all these machines here, it's likely that they are making them in Spain, and it's likely they were designed in Spain, which is totally fair enough. However, it's not exactly a brand new product. It's not exactly a unique idea, not even just in the concept of having a bottle upside down that autofills, because 4 years ago, bearing in mind that the copyright of the IP of this product was published in October 2022, I believe, somewhere around that date, end of last year anyway. You can see here, 4 years ago in 2019, there is essentially the same system, slightly different design. It's round rather than cuboid this time, of a bottle with a ribbed surface for your pleasure. I really like it with a button that releases with a plug. This concept is exactly the same. For example, I'm just trying to skip to a bit where it actually uses it. Look. So this is a face painting product, and it is the same concept. It's already been done. It's not like it's a brand new and original invention. But Green Stuff World seem to, I think, I don't know, seem to have a copyright on the cuboid shape. You know, the cuboid shape of a brush rinser and their button design with a spring on top of the system. But this invention has already been done before. So Green Stuff World, whilst they're kind of saying, yes, it was designed in Spain, the concept isn't original. And that's just, this was 4 years ago, you know? Like, the video doesn't show the molded Green Stuff World logo on the production line. I also noticed this, but I couldn't really comment on what that means. I don't really know, to be honest. So this is the production line. You know, this is the production line. Let's try and get a close up. As you can see. So what's rightfully been pointed out by chat by Tier 3J. This is the brush rinser being made, and then they link to one on their website and the picture that they use in the thumbnail. It's really fast, really good. I love this website. Can we go there, please? No? Are we not going there? Are we not going there now? Have we got nothing? No? Cool. The fact that when you search Green Stuff World, one of the first things comes up is lawsuit is kind of funny. Is their website down? IP banned from Green Stuff World? Potentially. I can't actually open it. Anyway, Jesus. The Green Stuff World brush rinser. This is their thumbnail, for example. It has a big fat Green Stuff World logo on here, which is totally fair. On this one, you can see there's a logo there, and it's very blurry. It's just a rubbish image. But then on the video, there's no logo, which is very interesting because none of the, like, I'm not gonna go out there and claim anything, but the ones on Temu don't have a logo, and these ones don't have a logo, but the ones Green Stuff World are selling do have a logo, which is a very interesting thing to notice, you know, because there's like this video of one here that has a logo. As you can see, it's there. So that's an interesting thing to notice. I don't know what it means. It could mean something, allegedly. There's a logo Green Stuff World on there, but then the new ones don't. Is it? Look at that. Frame by frame. Enhance. Enhance. There's no logos on there. Looks like their site is down. So fair, as duly noticed, is that these ones in this video don't have the logo on, and the ones they sell do have the logo in, as it is there. But yeah, so like it's quite interesting that Green Stuff World have responded, and I commend them for responding. However, they're responding to one part of the problem that people have kind of mentioned. Whether this has been directed at me, it might have been, it might not have been. It doesn't really matter. The point is they're responding to the claims of the brush rinser not being their design, which they say it is their design because they have a video. Now, is the video real? Probably. The video is probably real. But I couldn't possibly say it isn't because I don't have any, there's no evidence to say it is or isn't. So it's just like, it probably is real. But they haven't talked about the other two products which are kind of brought up, which in my video, the Green Stuff World scandal just got worse, is that, as I said, the reason I talked about this is because they had other products which in the past, they were mentioned by Tabletop Workshop, that other products that may have been kind of taken from someone, redesigned, put a patent law through, and then stopped other people selling them on eBay. So it's going to be an interesting one whether they bother responding to that or they just go, the brush rinser is ours, and everyone goes, yeah, okay, but what about these other products that you had? Because the other products were the Beast Putty Tube Roller, these ones, for example. Green Stuff World put a patent in just after this one came out and then stopped them selling them on eBay. Allegedly, anyway, according to this video. I'm not saying they did. I'm saying that I read it on the internet. Disclaimer, I know nothing. I'm just an idiot. And then there was also the leaf punchers. I don't know if I can find the picture. But the leaf, there was basically the punch thing to make leaves for basing. That was like supposedly the same, had the same issue. Talking about the PK punchers here though. So yeah, so good of them to respond. However, the response only contained one of the problems that was brought up in that video. If whether it was responded to me, it might not have been. It probably wasn't. I'm probably getting big-headed about it. But yeah, the response could have been a lot better. It could have been like, hey, we did design all these things. Here's our like invention things. We were designing it in this year. We put the patent in this year. It just so happened it was at the same time. They haven't addressed that. They've never addressed that, even though it's been going on since, it's been brought up since like 2020. For like the past 3 years, people have been like having problems with this. And yeah, it's kind of like, does that video prove anything? Maybe it does. I'm not super convinced, but that's just my opinion. But clearly they've heard something. That's why they put that video out, because they wouldn't just randomly put that video on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, if they knew they weren't getting some flack for it. So yeah. That video confirms nothing. I don't think it confirms a lot. But yeah, essentially, they might be making that product in Spain, in their Spanish factory, which is totally fine. But it's not exactly like an original idea. But that's the thing with IP protection. It's so finicky and so weird that you can kind of go, I'm going to design this product, and then someone else goes, I'm going to design the same product, but the shape is different, and then they get their own IP claim on it. So let me catch up with chat. How do we know their video is filmed in Spain? They could just film it in China and say it's Spain. Asmodite, for all I know, yeah, that could just be like a Chinese factory. It might be, it might not be. I don't know, obviously. It leads me to believe that they are making them in Spain. However, there's like, it's one of those things, right? There's no real... The response is probably the worst response they could have had, because all they've done is gone, well, they've kind of like got their backs up about it, you know? It's not like a really good response. It's just kind of like, well, actually, we're making them in Spain. And it's like, okay, cool, but where'd you get the design from? You know? It doesn't say invented in Spain. It says designed and manufactured, you know? Does design mean invented? No, because you can't invent it because the concept has already been done multiple times over. Because this is a review of someone, Ariel Paints. She made a video, or they made a video 4 years ago talking about the same concept on a slightly different product, and you've designed a square one instead. It's not uncommon for Western companies to buy Chinese manufactured components. No, this is also true. People in the West love to kind of like get things designed in China and then buy the manufacturing of it and then do it in the UK or the US or whatever. So I'm not saying that that's what Green Stuff World are doing, but I'm saying that there's every possibility it could have happened. Because again, I don't want to get sued for saying they are doing something where I have no evidence to prove they aren't. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying there's a possibility they could, in my opinion, allegedly. They should have put a pic of the rinse on. Today's Spanish newspaper proves about the same. The leaf punch. My wife has been using those types of punches for card making years before Green Stuff World made the punch. I can't pattern the shape of a leaf. No, the pattern was like the design of the punch itself, like the shape of it. Dr. Evil for short, and it's not uncommon to send design to China for production in China. Loads of companies do it. It's just weird. Why would you shift production to Spain if you're trying to get it? I don't know. Again, we don't know if they started the production in Spain or not. You know, this is solely my opinion. But if I was a cynical man, I'd say they spliced factory tour footage in China with their own 10 seconds of mixing polystyrene and boxing them. we would be reaching, and that would be very funny. But obviously, we don't know. Hold up, there's no molds in the machine either. It was interesting that they didn't show the production of the box. They kind of just said, here's some polystyrene getting mixed up, and here's a machine pulling them out. You know? Like even just like small time people can like do that sort of thing. Because like look, if you look, it's like mix some not that I want to go too heavily into researching this video in particular, because I just don't think it's the best. It's a response. It's just not the best they could have done. Here's mixing some plastic, right, and then here it is coming out of a machine. You know, whereas like where's the like douche? You know, making the things. What is it? Wargaming Spirit did it. Wargaming Spirit. Water cup. Oh, yeah, find it now. I've featured it in this video. Oh, maybe I've got a link in here. I've got a link to the Twitter. Let's go, baby. What Spirit Pots? Even this little company on Twitter put out a video showing you when they were making plastic cups. You know, when they were recycling sprues into cups. Where's this bit? I want to see this bit, Green Stuff World. I want to see the laggy video, but I want to see this. Show me this bit. So not that I'm saying the video is fake. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is I'm surprised it didn't show something like this process. This is a really laggy video. It's not frozen. Well, here is the cups being made, and then they show the video of it. I'm surprised you didn't get like a similar video of like, here's the polystyrene being mixed up, here's the boxes getting punched out. Kind of weird. Kind of interesting. Interesting is probably the word. The claim designed and fully made in Spain is a worse claim as it's false advertising. Well, we don't know. We don't know if it's false advertising, do we? The inconsistencies in the vid don't prove anything. There's no Green Stuff World livery on the finished parts. The machine doesn't have molds for the parts, etc. Yeah, that is something that I kind of noticed, but I didn't really think about too much until I think you pointed out, where it's just like, there's no logo on the brush rinser on the in the videos saying the brush rinser is ours, which is very. it might be even more telling for all we know. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion, just to clarify. That just might even be just like just like counterproductive to what they're trying to do. They're just going, yeah, we don't even have the logos on them. Do the ones that are being packed have the logo? That would be interesting. Imagine. I don't think we can see it. Enhance. I don't think they do. I don't think there's any logo on there. Fun dance. They're basically the same box. Yeah, but they could have just stolen Green Stuff World's thing. Because one thing I did notice going back and having a look is one of the videos we looked at, for example, this one, it says brush rinser there. The boxes are essentially the same. But then if you watch the video, it says brush rinser by Green Stuff World on the video. So I think this video on Temu has been stolen by the looks of it, in my opinion, allegedly. So I think they might have taken this video from Green Stuff World and used it themselves. But there's no logo on this box, but then you can't see the text. So it's only very blurry text you can actually see. But I imagine this video is probably being yoinked from Green Stuff World. So this one. I've been doing my research, as you can see. Yeah, this video. So Temu actually took this video from Green Stuff World and used it for advertising. So we just don't know what's real anymore. But what I will say, Green Stuff World haven't addressed the other claims that I made in my video regarding the rollers, regarding the leaf punchers. So I'm still very skeptical. Very, very skeptical. This is the worst episode of How It's Made ever. Can't believe Green Stuff World invented the ability to clean paintbrushes. Until now, every bit of paint I use, I throw the brush away and get a new one. So expensive. We don't want evidence, we want drama. Listen, I try and bring you the hot gossip, but I always want to make sure I'm correct. I just don't want to come out and just lie. I would never come out and lie on purpose. I would just get something wrong because I'm dumb. But this seems pretty clear cut. You know, there's definitely something weird going on here, because that's why they've responded. Fuck it, I'm about all the hexagon-shaped paint rinsers off Temu and selling them. If I make a video of a dog walker to prove it's my own product. Come on, Maggie, you are our drama news source. What more do you want? This is like big. This is big drama. A company that I called out responded. I mean, what more do you want from me? What else can I provide? Anyway, if this isn't enough for you to become a member right now, Grey Names, I don't know what is. Also, why are the parts being placed on the conveyor from the top? The machine connects to the conveyor from the side. I don't know. We can't like go into like all the mechanics of their machine because we don't know what machine it is. But yeah, they use it. It looks like the same box, but that just might be because they've stolen. They might have like stolen one. I don't know. Allegedly. But it doesn't say Green Stuff World on there. But it does on the video. The video has been taken from their YouTube. So this isn't a great idea to look at as like, well, Green Stuff World are taking it from here because they're clearly taking their videos from Green Stuff World, as you can see, because it says by Green Stuff World on it. So I realised my screen wasn't on, but the point stands. You can assemble something and claim it's manufactured in Spain. It's totally legal. Yeah, that's also true because you get a lot of products that are kind of like Games Workshop codexes say they're designed in the UK, but then they're printed in China. You know. And if you manufacture something, or they can use certain terminology where if they get a, not Green Stuff World, but a company, if they get a box printed in China and sent over, and a sprue printed in China and sent over, and then package it in the UK, is made in the UK. That's like a law. That's like a legal thing to do, I believe. The video is sus. The video is interesting, that's for sure. It's like the unnecessary inventions ball cooler drama. Exactly like that, actually, Joel. I'm glad that someone brought that up. So, unnecessary inventions, you might have seen him. He's a massive YouTuber that makes dumb shit. And someone took one of his inventions, which is essentially a fucking hose pipe attached to a car vent that goes up your shorts to cool your balls, the ball cooler. And someone did the same thing. We could watch that video actually if you want. He's a bigger YouTuber than me. I don't need permission. Mikey, you should make a hexagonal brush rinser and print it as allegedly not Green Stuff World. This one.
This is one of my more popular inventions called the Jewel Cooler. And this is a knockoff version of my invention available on Amazon right now. But not only that, the images on the listing are using screenshots from my video. Does this sound familiar whatsoever?
Chat? Chat, answer the question.
It probably does, because just about a year ago, I basically made the exact same video about the Rage Quit Protector being available on Amazon and Walmart and a whole bunch of other different websites.
So yeah, if you don't know this guy, basically, I really enjoy him because he makes dumb shit basically with a 3D printer, and it's really fun to watch. He makes like really crazy shit, like this product, for example, is an inflatable bag to put your controller in, so if you rage quit and throw it across the room, it won't break. And the other one was a hose pipe that goes up your shorts to cool your balls while you're driving. And he's made loads of cool shit, but yeah, like this is like an interesting insight. And when the Green Stuff World stuff was coming out on Twitter, this is exactly what I thought of.
But this time things are a little bit different because I've actually known for months that this invention was coming out, and it was sort of all by mistake. And first I want to thank you guys because a lot of you have been sending me listings of the Jewel Cooler available online, and it's so nice that you guys are watching my back. But this time around,
super creative, well produced video. Yeah, he's a great creator. Yeah, he's really good. He's really talented, and the products he comes out with are really, really good. His taco recycler was peak. Yeah, the taco recycler, like as some other examples you might have seen. Like this one, a lot of people make memes about this one and say this guy living in 2099, and he's like eating a taco, the bits fall out into another taco or another like tortilla wrap or something like that. And the other one was the Lego Hoover, Lego vacuum. I can't spell, but that's fine. So he made a Lego vacuum cleaner that like sorts your Lego out. That's what it reminded. This year's new Dyson must have a product. Mikey, is your background in product design and engineering? Funnily enough, yes it is. Can you tell? Won't get it away. But yeah, I used to be an engineer at the University of Sheffield. I used to design my own products. Design lab equipment.
About it in such a weird way. So let's just take a step back in time to when I actually figured out, or started to figure out something was going on. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3. Okay, I'm starting a video. I have no idea if it's gonna go somewhere. I just came across something super random that then led to something else that I wasn't expecting whatsoever. I was browsing Alibaba.com, which is basically like the Amazon of China. And so I just like randomly came across this product for some random air intake hose for a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. And I was thinking to myself, like, this looks like the Jewel Cooler. So maybe I'll hit them up and maybe they can make the Jewel Cooler for me. So I hit them up and I'm just like, hey, I'm looking to make a similar product to this. It fits on an AC vent. It kind of has has that same retractable hose. Here are some photos of it. Would you be able to produce this? And so they did reply and they said, yes, how many pieces do you need? I just said 1 to 5,000 just to throw a number out there to get started. And then he sends me this photo. Wow. Oh my God.
It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. If you ever find the old story of what he made, Mikey was doing both the supply and demand for 2 of his creations. Listen, Mercenary, that was a private, intimate conversation we had on one stream. We'd never talk about it again. Oh, man. Yeah, but yeah, so... I was doing a lot of things, but one of the 2 things I was doing was... At 2 different times, to be fair. But I was helping design better fuel efficiency for long-range missiles, which is pretty crazy. And then I was also 3D printing legs and testing those as well at the same time. Is this an XQC stream? It's all relevant. It's all relevant, Decknall. I'm not just going to be like, whoa, that's crazy, and leave the room for 15 minutes, okay? It's a 9-minute video. I've paused it. I mean, we're 2 minutes in. I think I've spoken for about 9 minutes over the top. This is not an XQC stream. Guys, that's... Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God, that's crazy. Guys. I'm a product design engineer too. You can tell torn technical mind. Yeah, true. Truly.
This is the jewel cooler. Like,
it's the same, guys.
Like, they are already making the jewel cooler. It's the exact same product. So someone is trying.
Now do the worm. No. No. Leaves the room. I'm just going to put the video on. An hour-long video. And then I'm going to leave for about half an hour. Is that okay? And then I'm going to come back and be like, guys, that's crazy. Don't you think that's crazy, guys?
Trying to copy.
Or do you want me to do Sniper Wolf reacts? You know?
Off this product. So I'm like,
they ripped off the product? Try using spending an entire stream using the intonation and illegibility of XQC. Now I think I'd die, mate.
Very similar to that product. Is this something that you already make? And he said yes.
Oh my God, guys, he said yes.
So here's the plan of attack. Sorry, all the anger and confusion made me hungry, so I went to go get lunch. Step 1 is going to be figuring out if I can get my hands on those factory-made jewel coolers so I can test it out and see what's going on. And then
essentially, we don't need to watch this full video, but the point is, this is the exact same thing. He's designed something similar. It's not the exact same thing, but it's very similar. It's kind of like how things can work, where you can kind of like buy something from somewhere else and then just resell it and say it's made in the US.
Figure out who's behind this, who did this.
Nah, dude.
Right now, maybe you're watching right now and just laughing at me. But who are you? We got to figure that out. Well, on to the next. And that's exactly what I did. Over the next few weeks, I was going back and forth with my representative over in China. I was basically just trying to nail into the fact that, you know, this is my original design, and hey, here's the original photos that you're using. But the main thing I wanted to do was get a sample of the invention. And unfortunately,
but yeah, anyway, you can go watch that video if you want to. I'm not going to sit here and watch it all. But it's essentially like a really interesting insight to what potentially could be happening, might have happened, might not have happened, but is very could. Like, when you start getting all these pieces of information together, you could meld it into something regarding the original topic, regarding Green Stuff World. But it's all theory. It's all theory, okay? It's all conspiracy. We don't have any evidence. I seen this video a few weeks ago. Yeah, this is from 3 weeks ago. Exactly. And now, but it's quite funny because it ended up with him actually going out to sell the jewel cooler for $19. Which is fair play. So it's a thing that goes up your shorts to cool your balls. Anyway, so that's the drama. It could be, yeah, it could be very reminiscent of what they did, possibly, maybe, potentially. But we don't know. We don't know. And that's a theory. A green stuff world theory. It's just a theory. Oh man, I've been on the internet way too long. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments, or if you're watching live, let me know what you think now about this whole green stuff world fiasco. I don't think this is going to be the last that we've heard. As I said, I think the response actually opens more questions than were originally laid out. But I do respect them for coming out and actually responding to it and not just keeping it to themselves. I think if they just stayed quiet, it's one of those things. It's kind of like you either stay quiet and don't say anything and let the drama die, or you come out and try and say something. But if you rush it and don't think about it, then you usually say stuff that it just makes things worse, you know? And I don't know if that video makes things worse or just opens up another kind of worms of like, why is there no logo on the brush rinsers? Why do we not see them getting punched out? They're just appearing from out the top. You've showed like all this mixing of the plastic, but then that's it. It's like, if I was making a manufacturing video and I showed someone mixing the plastic, I'd also show them pouring it into something and then that something making it into something else. You know, that's what I would do. That's not what they've done, but that's fine. But I just think it's quite interesting. Again, you either say nothing, let the drama die, or you come out and say something, and then you've got like two problems. You either rush it, which I think they might have rushed this out to try and like quench the thirst of us drama fiends, or you take your time, plan it out, think about it, put a really good response out, and shut everybody down, even if you're in the wrong. You know. But yeah, I'm getting Pepe Sylvia vibes from today's stream. Look, it could be this. Sniperpool doesn't react to videos. As you can see, the white screen reflecting her glasses. She reads the script. Interesting. Not gonna lie, a bit sad the drama isn't followed up by you bullying kids at Warm World. There are no kids at Warm World. At the end of the day, I still think it's a useless product. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can like the product or dislike the product. That's not really what we're like trying to address, really. That's not really like that's not really the core of the issue. The product might be bad. It might be really good. The point is there's a bit of a track history of Green Stuff World doing some interesting business practices, to say the least, in my opinion. And this is the only one they bother responding to, you know? They responded to the stealing artwork from Instagram and apologized. They responded to the Sword and Steel and apologized a couple of years ago. But both of those things were like public outcries. And now they've kind of gone, well, actually, no, we're not the problem in this one. And I respect them for responding and seeing it, but it's just going to be interesting to see how it develops. However, I don't know if they are mad at me specifically, chat, because if we go over to the great website of Instagram.com and we look on their Instagram page, they follow me still. They follow me, so they can't be that mad. Clearly it wasn't about me. Clearly, it was about everyone else on Twitter, okay? They're not angry at me, or they wouldn't follow me, okay? They've put the same video, made in Spain, as you can see. Oh, do we see them popping out? This is a different video. Is this a different video? Did they put a different video on? So that was slightly different. They showed this bit, but I don't see it. It's just... So yeah, they probably are manufacturing them. That fucker is still playing with pellets. He loves pellets. Who's the man filming? Is he the owner? Is he just a random guy in the factory? Who is he? I need to watch it one more time to make sure I can see. He's mixing the pellets again. Who is he? Who is this man? Who is this man? Maybe you're just the yardstick for if we need to make a response. Mercenary Q, make sure you say allegedly after anything like that. Make sure you say in my opinion. Don't want to get you sued. The happy generic social media music feels like I'm shopping with my wife at a clothes store, literally. Brush races have been around in China for years. They were originally designed for the creative art market. The designs were slightly different, but they worked in the exact same way. Yeah, I brought one up, mate, for a few years ago. You sound a bit like the audit guy. Who is this man? I am. I'm DJ Audits. I'm auditing this video. Just love pellets. But anyway, I got tagged in this video as well, but I didn't actually watch it. I think someone tagged me in it last night. I'm sure someone tagged me in it. There it is. Back to Warhammer, trying to call me out. But anyway, they still follow me, so they can't be that mad. So shout out to Green Stuff World for not unfollowing me. But I still don't think I'll be ordering anything anytime soon. But anyway, yeah, let me know what your opinions are. I'd love to have a little bit of a conversation about it. That'd be really cool. If you're new to the stream, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Decknall, thank you for being a member for a month. You legend. Thank you to the 2 gifted we've had already as well. If you want to support me, you can become a member for as little as £1.99 a month. I'm trying to hit 10 members every single stream. I feel like I bring you some pretty golden content. Golden ticket content, what I'm saying. So if you want to become a member, please consider it now. Right this second. You sound a bit like the audit guy. He's the hottest guy there, so you can get Insta model influencer ratings. Allegedly, I enjoy Mikey's stream. Allegedly, I'm glad you got. I'm glad. Allegedly, I'm glad. It's definitely a fucking weird one, that's for sure. Definitely a weird one. Imagine flying out a bunch of European people to China to the factory to stage a video, allegedly. Very good. Hey, Luke Harris, thank you so much for the gifted, you babe.
Gifted member.
Luke Harris, thank you so much for the gifted. You're a star, mate. Hashiro the artist, you freeloader, join the Discord for free for 30 days. Boycott Green Stuff World, Mikey commands it. I did not say boycott Green Stuff World. I said I don't buy anything from them because I don't like the business practices. Very different to saying I'm boycotting them. I personally, maybe, but I'm not telling you guys to do anything. Okay? Clarify. If you want to buy their stuff, by all means, go for it. But I won't. That's basically what I said. There you go. Put money aside especially for it. Thanks, Luke Harris. You're a star, mate. Anyway, I think that's probably about it for that. I just hate Spanish companies. I don't just hate Spanish companies. I just hate companies that are cringe that are also happen to be in Spain. It just so happens there's a couple of Spanish companies that are just not very nice. It's just a coincidence. It is not the rule. It is a coincidence. Anyway, shall we move on? Any more to add about Green Stuff World before we move on? Don't boycott them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Name one Spanish company I like. That is quite tough, actually. It's probably not a hobby company. I bought from them before. But again, it's fine. It's fine. You can spend your hobby dollars however you like. If you take the information that I've given you and then make an adult decision afterwards. I'm not telling you you shouldn't. I'm saying that I don't. And I think whilst that is probably a type of boycott, it's a personal boycott. I'm not going out there saying, no, don't ever do that or I'll ban you from chat. And it's like, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I personally don't, and that's okay. I don't discriminate against Spanish companies. Some of my best friends are Spanish companies. I even had Spanish companies at my wedding. Are Vallejo Spanish? Mikey asking us to support Greece of World confirmed. God damn it, I can't think of one Spanish company that I like. I like Vallejo. Vallejo are a very good company. Take that, Decknull. I'm not racist. He's trying to make out I'm racist. I don't like Spanish companies. But it's no. There's just a couple of Spanish companies I don't like. Vallejo is very cool. Vallejo is very epic. Yeah, Decknull, sit down, mate. I'm going to have to ban you now. Trying to call me out. Trying to make out I'm racist when I'm not. For sure, it's annoying just because there's some good old stuff on there. I mean, yeah, it is annoying. Drop the ban hammer on Decknull. I'm going to have to. I remember the wife asking if I'd like one of those bush rinses when Temu launched, and I said no, it's just a gimmick. Then a flood of videos appeared about it. Yeah, there's been a bit of a Green Stuff World marketing campaign with that product as well. I think that's probably why it's come up so much and why it's kind of blown up. Because I think a lot of people have kind of seen like marketing about the brush rinses. I think a bunch of influencers have got some. There's been loads of shorts and videos popping up about it. And then the drama with the We Print Miniatures scandal, let's call it. I can't figure a better word. The drama with We Print Miniatures. It's kind of blew up a little bit. Their website is still down. Guys, if you're holding Grease of World's website hostage, please let it go. Just wait until Vallejo release their... Oh. I don't know if Vallejo will. There's AK that have. I think Scale might have. I don't know. There's just been like, it's just AK and Grease of World I have a problem with, really. That's the real problem. They're the two companies I have a bit of a problem with. And you know what? I don't think those problems are misplaced. Drop the ban hammer on Decknull. Drop it so hard. I'm going to have to. I don't care. It's just become a member again for a month. I'm going to have to drop the ban hammer so hard. Why would I use a brush rinser anyway when I can't drink the forbidden tea? Is that what you're supposed to do afterwards? It's been there for like 3 weeks because you don't bother emptying it. Like you would in a water pot. You like chug the cup like drinking from a shoe or something. What you actually do is when the bottle's empty, you press the plug button and then suck all the rest of it out, you know? And you chug it like a can. What do Americans call it? I got no idea. Americans call it summit. Skull? Skull in a can, is it? Pour it in the dirty pint. Okay. So, let's move on anyway. Shotgunning, that's it anyway, man. So, next week, we're running a 54-man tournament. And obviously, I'm a champion. As you can see, I got a golden ticket. Don't know if you knew. Got a golden ticket, because I'm a professional gamer. I don't know if you knew. But the problem is with the game of Warhammer is the game of Warhammer is really broken and really shit. It doesn't really work very well. So I thought what we could do today is I would tell you some interesting things that came up at the Warhammer World GT that I won that probably need FAQing, addressing, dealing with. And then you guys can tell me some things that have come up that you might have a question to that might not have a proper answer. And we can finish writing the FAQ for next week's tournament. And you guys can be credited as helping write the FAQ. Because I will say, thanks, chat. Like that. Really nicely. Is the drama finished now? I think the drama's finished now, yeah. I think we're moving on from drama now. We're going to do 40k FAQ. Okay? How's that sound? Let me edit the title. 40k FAQ and the secrets of the Lancer on the morning news. Your winnings yesterday's news. Shut the fuck up, Mr. T. I'm timing you out. Imagine they're dead. That'd be funny. More drama. I don't have more drama. You'll have to watch ghost hunting videos. Fair enough. Conventional drama resolved. FAQ drama starts now. We're here to start more drama by writing our own FAQ. Someone on Reddit said I was allowed. Look, on Meta Monday, will people start taking me seriously now? Because I won. I won a tournament. I'm going to be on Goonhammer. I'm going to be on the Goonhammer. He said, look, I said, I think you should do another community balance data slate. Now you're a proven winner. So we're going to do it today. We're going to make that balance data slate once again and start even more drama. So that will be, we'll frame it. We'll frame it next to our FAQ. So 40k FAQ issues. And I'll make the text bigger, don't worry. You can just zoom in. You can just zoom in. Nice. 40k FAQ issues. So, some things that came up over the weekend. That were like questions that either I had or questions that I just heard around the event. That didn't really have an answer. Meta Monday, I feel 2 Spark people told you no. I can't believe Salostar ratioed me. That was fucking brutal. Notepad are you using 2023 drama enough? It's just notes. It's a notepad for notes. Okay, so one thing that came up was Trajan. Trajan Valoris. So Trajan Valoris has a cool rule where he ignores all modifiers. All modifiers. And while I'm going through the FAQ with the things that came up for me, why don't you guys post things in the chat that have come up for you that I either know the answer of or don't have an answer of and will make an answer for it. Okay. Trajan Valoris ignores all modifiers. Now, the question that always comes up is, does he ignore damage modifiers? For example, minus damage, half damage, etc. Because there's a few ways that the rules are written. Because on, I think it's Eldar. There's like two examples. So if we go to Eldar, let's have a look. It might have been changed. I might not remember it correctly. Chaos Contempt's allowed. I mean, no. I mean, what do you want me to say? So Wraith Knight has, each time its attack is allocated to this model, subtract 1 to the attack's damage characteristic. So the thing is with it is the wording of how to allocate attacks, right? The way that the damage is applied, you can't affect Trajan's characteristics or the unit that Trajan is leading's characteristics. We should probably pull that one up as well, shouldn't we? We'll do this properly, chat. Don't worry. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Where's good lady? There it is. Trojan. Trojan. Trojan Valores. Here it is. I'll put him here down at the bottom so you can kind of see what's going on. So while this model is in the unit, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the characteristics of models in that unit and or to any roll or test made for the models in that unit, except for saves. So it doesn't ignore AP. So it says it ignores his characteristics, but then the Wraithbone form says each time attack is allocated to the model, subtract 1 from the attack's damage characteristic. So it says when you apply it to the model, which you are taking it away from Trajan, essentially, and then applying it to your model. It's in the defending player's control, essentially. But it also says you subtract 1 from the damage characteristic. Now, for this one, I think it's pretty clear cut that he ignores this now. At first, I didn't, but I think because it's the damage characteristic, I think he does ignore it. But I think the Incarn might have different wording. Because the Incarn harms all damage. So each time an attack is allocated to this model, halve the damage of the damage characteristic. So I think I think there might be another one. There's lots of different wording. That's the problem with this game. Is that they've brought universal special rules in and they've not used it for half the game. Such as -1 damage, such as half damage. So I think Trajan is happy to say, I think we're happy to say, yes, even damage modifiers. I think that's just going to have to be how it works because that just makes sense. Overwatch. Now, Overwatch is a really interesting one. Overwatch is a really interesting one because the Overwatch stratagem specifically says they can only be used once per phase. Once per turn even. Fire Overwatch. Now, when your opponents move or charge, just have an enemy set up, fallback, normal advance, and fallback move, etc. Mikey secretly got the playtester job and now crowdsourced in FAQ. One of your army is within 24 inches of that enemy unit that would be eligible to shoot if it were your shooting phase. Your unit can shoot the enemy as if it was your shooting phase. You can only hit on 6. You can only use this stratagem once per turn. Now, because of this last line, I've always said that the Overwatch stratagem can only be used once, even if you've got ability to use it for free. Right? That's what I've thought the rule should be written as. However, I don't think... GW don't play it like this. They say you can use it multiple times. But also, what they opened up with me in my game is that you can actually trigger a stratagem twice exactly at the same time. For example, firing Overwatch, you can use it. But if you can use it multiple times, you can use it multiple times against the same unit. So... So the first one is that Games Workshop, when we looked at the Tacoma Open rulings, they specifically said this is fine. You can use Rights of Battle against you can use Rights of Battle for Overwatch, for example. And what it allows you to do is use it multiple times per turn because you can use the stratagem. You can use the stratagem for free with Tigris for one. You can use Uriel Ventress to use the stratagem again, but it costs you 1 TP. But you can use it even if it's already been used, and you can use it on the unit that's battle shocked. Gulliman allows you to use it for free, and then like the Hammerfall Bunker could do it as well, and then you've got Rights of Battle. So you can Overwatch like 5 times. But what happened in my last game is I was allowed to Overwatch the same unit with 2 of my units. So 1 unit moved, and I used Overwatch twice, and they said that was fine. Now I personally don't agree. But the rules writer said that was fine. So this can be triggered. Or basically any stratagem. Stratagems, not even just Overwatch. Stratagems can be triggered twice instantly. But probably you'd have to have the stipulation of not on the same unit. With this thinking, could I bring back 2 custodians if I have a shield captain free strat? That's an, I think for that one I'd probably say no. But let me write this down. Strategies can be instant twice instantly on the same reaction. For example, Overwatch twice at the same unit that moved. Because that was allowed, right? But the thing is with this is triggering stratagems that can be used for free and then use it again, even if it's already been used. So that allows it to be used. But yeah, as you rightfully say, we've got the shield captain. Is it shield dash captain? It is. The shield captain that says once per battle round, you can select one model from your army with this ability. That model's unit can be targeted with a stratagem for 0 TP if that stratagem has already been targeted another unit from your army this phase. So, because it says it can target this even if it's been used on another unit, you can't use the same stratagem on the same unit. But not on the same unit. Because it says even if it's been used by another unit. Because then, yes, you could have a stratagem that is once per game in a unit. Is it Unwavering Sentinels? No. Which one is it? A great question, but I think it's answered. Yeah, so Vigilant Ending. 1 Custodian's infantry unit. 1 destroyed model is returned to each unit with full wounds. You cannot target the same unit with a stratagem more than once per battle. So, Shield Captain ability says you can target it even if it's been targeted by another unit. So I don't think this would work. If it didn't have that last bit of, like, you could target this even if it's been used on another unit, then, yeah, you probably could. Overwatch itself has a restriction, so it can only be used once per turn. Why does the model's ability override this restriction? No idea, to be honest. But I think it's because it says... even if that stratagem has already been targeted another unit from your army this phase. Now, again, I didn't agree with it, but Games Workshop allow it. They allowed it at Tacoma Open. They allowed me to do it because they were playing the same rules as Tacoma Open. So I'm not here to say that Games Workshop played it wrong. I'm here to try and play the game as close as what they probably intended, without being too ridiculous. Phase 10, yeah, true. The last one, hover vehicles and bases. Now this is regarding Wave Serpents, Ghost Arcs, Doomsday Arcs, Raiders, stuff like that. There are no rules for hover in the game. There are no rules in the game that clarify how a vehicle that is massive over its base uses the hover. Not only did they allow it, but a rules writer told you it was okay. Yeah, literally, basically. Like, in my instance, I had the judge, which is one of the rules writers, who is currently writing the balanced data slate for the edition, said, yeah, that's fine. So I'm like... I mean, what other judge could you be like, yeah, it's probably okay. But yeah, so hover vehicles and bases, like... Hover vehicles that are too big over the base don't really have proper rules. And they have some sort of overhang if you can't get to the base completely. Then you measure the model. But Ghost Arcs and Raiders, you can get to the base, but only in certain areas, which creates some weird jank. So essentially, some vehicles it's fine. I think Wave Serpents are pretty much fine. They're hover. They work, basically you measure to the hull rather than the model. But there's a lot of vehicles that you don't really know because it doesn't really clarify. So I think for hover vehicles, and something that came up at the weekend is they said, play hover vehicles like 9th edition, which I thought was very funny. So, for example, measure to the hull rather than the base. The hull has a natural, you want to call it like a straight down, like footprint. Natural footprint straight down from the hull to the board. Because then you can start saying, well, there's a little bit of a gap because my bases are really high. So my base is like 2 inches in the air, so you can't actually get in combat because it's 2 inches high. But then you just go, they've got a natural footprint straight down from the hull. Vehicles. What vehicles need hover? So we'll say Wave Serpents, just to confirm. Wave Serpents. Also, Raiders. We also have Doomsday, or Ghost Arcs, and or similar vehicles, or similar. Wave Serpents, Raiders, Ghost Arcs. They're like the 3 main ones. But is there any other? Is there any other Primaris vehicles? That's it. Primaris vehicles. Now we'll be more specific. We'll say impulsors / repulsors. Jet bikes are usually fine. Devilfish, great one. Great example. Great example. And also, thanks for all your questions so far, guys. I'm going to go back through the chat when I've gone through these ones. Because these are like the big ones that came up. Gladiators. Yeah, because they're impulsor chassis. Or similar chassis, I'll put. So I don't have to write every single example. Because a Raider is also a Raider, but it's also the shooter, not Reaper. Raider is the transport, but there's obviously the shooty version, which is the same. Caladius slash Ford World. Custodes vehicles. Reaver. Is it Reaver? Reavers are the jet bikes. Will I redeploy before I have to turn one roll? They usually are specified now. Ravager, that's the one now. Thanks, mate. So Raider, Ravager. Things like Venoms you can usually get to. Land Speeders you can get to. All types of Land Speeders. I don't think there's any other ones. Astrayas. God damn it. I hope no one's bringing Astrayas. Reaper for Ford Road. They're legends now, the Reapers. Manta. No, Manta's high. So these are like the interesting ones that came up. These are the interesting ones that came up for sure. Tantalus, great one. Great one, guys. Great one. Tantalus. If unsure, ask. If unsure, ask. Could some of the 2D monsters suffer from this? I don't think so. Maybe some of the Ford World ones, but a lot of them are massive, you know? Now then, fella, how are you doing? It's been a while since you had a chat over a pint in UK Games Expo. How you doing well, bud? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm alright. How are you? All of Eldar. Yeah, but I said Wave Serpents. I got it there. Command Barge. Command Barge. That's a good one. Command Barge is quite big. Doesn't a monolith hover as well? Yeah, Monolith is a good one. Monolith is pretty much covered though, because that's the one where you can't get to the base at all because it's so small compared to the vehicle. But it's nice to add it just in case. I think that's most of the vehicles. Take time out of the game. No, that's something I can't do. Close all windows. We don't have windows in our buildings anyway. This is just about like FAQ of the game rather than terrain. Okay, so that's the ones. They're the ones that came up for me at the weekend, or I heard that came up. So I'm just gonna make this text bigger, and I'm gonna zoom out. There we go. Is that still viewable? Tesseract Vault, you should be able to get to them because he's on a flight stand. But if you're unsure, so we're basically playing vehicles like this. That's cool. Thanks, guys. Let's have a catch up. Can the same unit Overwatch twice shooting at 2 different units? Of course. No, you can't. You can't use a stratagem on the same unit twice because all the abilities that allow you to use a stratagem again, it says you can use it even if you've used it on a different unit this turn. So you can never use the same stratagem on a unit at the same time, pretty much. I've got one. If a unit with a character dies and it's just the character left, do they still have the same buffs and debuffs, e.g. guard, orders, or oath to moment? So, that's a great one. Thanks, Niall. Niall asks, if a unit with a character dies and it just the character left, do they still have that? I'm having to update your spelling. Do they still have the same buff? So there's a thing called, in the rules commentary, persisting effects. Because this did come up, because I was using it for a moment multiple times. So some rules apply an effect that lasts until a certain duration, e.g. until the start of your next turn. Such effects are known as persistent effects. If a persistent effect applies to a unit when it's embarked within a transport, make note of its effect and duration. If that unit disembarks for any reason, any persistent effects continue to apply to that unit. If a persistent effect applies to an attached unit and the unit ceases to be an attached unit, any persistent effects continue to apply to the surviving unit for the full duration. So the answer is yes. See persisting effects. So they do go off, they continue. Where do you measure range for them for shooting with these units? So you'll measure to the hull, Joel. So anything that's got, we're going to say is hover, you'll measure the hull. For charging and for range. So essentially the base or hull will be essentially hover vehicles, measure to the hull or the base. Or the base. The hull is an actual footprint straight down from the hull to the board. Cool. We did it. But the thing is with an FAQ is like some people don't. It's better to have if an FAQ. The thing is with an FAQ, even if the answer is there, sometimes it's good to say where to find the answer. One I've seen in my club was, can you disembark in reserve? It doesn't say in disembark rules that you're not allowed to. You can't select the unit to make a move, so no, you can't. You can't select the unit for any reason while it's in reserve. The only one I have kind of obvious as intended, but I've seen several people ask this around RE CSM dark packs that basically you can't stack the same packed effects if you say have a heavy bolter. So you have like 2 instances of sustained hits, for example. So dark packs, you can have lethal hits or sustained hits. Can you use a free strike while in reserve? Yeah, you can. Because you can target yourself for abilities whilst you're in reserve, which is part of the FAQ as well. The rules commentary. So sustained hits and then heavy bolter. Let's see if we can find a profile of one. Heavy bolter, sustained hits 1. So do they both trigger? I think they do, you know. Is there anything in FAQ? Multiple would be a good one. Multiple characters. Duplicated core abilities. Ah, here we go. It says that. So a core ability is solely sustained hits, right? If a model, unit, weapon, or attack has multiple instances of the same core ability, those abilities are not cumulative, and only one instance of that ability can take effect at any time. If that ability has a number after it, e.g. sustained hit, scout 6, the controller may which cheat. Yeah, so it is answered. Anime man. Oh, you can't set the same pact. Yeah, you did answer that actually. No. See? Duplicated. Core abilities. Abilities, that'll do. FAQ all death guard to ignore movement penalties and reduce damage by 1. No. For hovering vehicles measured to the hull, can you hold objectives, score secondaries using the hull, or are you using its base? You'll be able to use it from the hull. It's kind of one of those things. It's like you kind of give with one hand, but also give with the other. Take with the other. You're taking away the fact that they can't be charged, but they can hold objectives with it. That jump versus here we go. Interesting, as I've heard people say yes, that's fine. Now jump and here we go. So the jump is teleport. What's here we go? Here we. I don't understand the question. Start of your movement phase, 1 orc infantry. Until the end of your turn, add 2 to advance and charge rolls. And then da jump. Set it up 9 away. Yeah, of course you can do that. I don't understand why that wouldn't go off. What's the question? Both affect the movement phase with here we go giving bonus to advance. Heard people say no, it's no as it's an inch to movement and advance, and a yes as it's not affecting the jump. Are you trying to say can you deep strike 7 away? Because obviously no, you can't. Am I being dumb, or just misunderstanding this question? Yeah, the start of the turn you give them +2 advance and charge, and then at the end of the turn you teleport them 9 away, and then they got +2 charge. Candidates of the Creed use a guard res stratagem for free as a stratagem is used on the unit before it's destroyed. That's a good question. Basically saying that here we go would not affect a unit hit by the jump, as you'd have to apply both the move and the advance bonuses. The jump isn't a move. What am I being done? The jump isn't a move. Then your movement phase, one weird boy from your army can use this ability. If it does so, roll 1d6 on a 1 the weird boy unit suffers d6 mortal wounds. On a 2, remove this weird boy unit from the battlefield and set it up again anywhere on the battlefield. So this isn't a move. It's a pick up and put down, or a redeploy we call it. You know? But then when you charge, here we go, adds 2 to advance and charge. Orc infantry unit for your army. Till the end of the turn, add 2 to the advance and charge rolls made for your unit. One thing that did come up actually that I completely forgot to mention is now I'm not gonna. I don't know if some people have noticed this, but there's multiple abilities that allow you to set yourself back up into reserve in deep strike next turn. There's a really interesting interaction where I use Teleportarium, right? So this is the Death Watch one. Any opponent's fight phase, up to 2 kill teams or 1 of the unit from your army. Remove those units from the battlefield. In the reinforcement step of your next movement phase, set each of those units up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away. Okay. What happened is I actually put a unit that was below half strength into the Teleportarium. And the interaction is that I didn't take a battle shock test in the command phase. However, as soon as I landed, I had to do a battle shock test. This is what the rules designer said, or the rules writer said. So because I'm going up into the atmosphere or into the Teleportarium thing, I'm not on the board, but also I'm not in reserve because I've just come down the next turn. Because it doesn't say put them anywhere. It just says remove them from the battlefield. In the next turn, you put them back down. As soon as they land, they have to do a battle shock test. The problem with this is if you do a battle shock test and fail, you can't use a command point to auto pass because it is not the command phase. That strategy can only be used in the command phase. When they land is actually the movement phase. But other abilities, such as Alaris. Oh, no, he's wrong. He got this wrong. Alaris have exactly the same rule. Because he kept saying they were going to the Shadow or something. And I was like, okay. And then I made a Yu-Gi-Oh reference to Shadow Realm. So he's just wrong. He was just wrong on this one. I was talking about, he kept saying, oh, they go to the Shadow so they don't have to. And I was like, oh, okay. Like the Shadow Realm. Here's me talking about fucking Yu-Gi-Oh again. Oh, man. And I was like, do you know why they call it the Shadow Realm? I'm going to have to look at the commentary for fucking Battle Shock. Essentially, you can't do a Battle Shock test whilst in reserve. Is Battle Shock dash? Yeah. Affected by stratagem. Basically, do you have to do a battle shot test whilst you're in reserve? You know? What'd you break now? Just nothing. Just generally. Just fucking... I didn't break anything. It just happened. Even when some rules require you to take a battle shot test during a phase other than the command phase. So you remain battle shocked. I thought this was an interesting one because I'd never heard of that before. Here we go. If a repositioned unit is below half strength and it was not on the battlefield during your command phase, it must take a battle shot test as if it were your command phase after it has been set back up for repositioned units. So a unit that doesn't specify it goes into reserved counts as a repositioned unit. That's a really big one. If a unit is removed from the battlefield and does not specify it goes into reserve of any kind, it is treated as a repositioned unit. So again, that's interesting with the teleportarium because it doesn't say, it says remove from the battlefield. It doesn't say put them into reserve. I don't need that anymore. They will still count as a repositioned unit. Now with the demons, woo baby, guys, I just need to be a playtester already. I can get paid so much money for this. I'm doing it for free. Chaos Desmonds. They have a very similar stratagem, which is called the Realm of Chaos. So, any opponent's turn, up to 2 Legions Demonic unit. It's exactly the same wording so far. Remove those targeted units from the battlefield and place them into strategic reserves. This is FAQ for my event, yeah. Now, because they are put into strategic reserves, they are not a repositioned unit. So they don't have to do a command battle shot test because they are in reserves. Which is interesting. I've read that before. The rules writer is right, but I can't remember where the commentary is located. He was wrong about the Alaris, but they never went into reserve anyway. Just fucking killed him. So that's a big one. That's a big one to remember. So if it doesn't specify where it goes, they are repositioning, even if they go up and then come back down later. You know? Hey, Congress Stewie, thanks for the gifted, man. Really appreciate it. That's very kind of you, buddy.
Gifted member.
1% of your hourly rate, bud. Thank you, mate. We're so close. Okay, let me go back to the chat and catch up. But I thought that was an interesting one. This is quite a big thing, you know. Can I the Creed use the guard res strap? Okay, let's have a look at the guard res strap. I'm probably going to say no because it's not. I don't think they're on the battlefield when they do it. One regiment unit for your army that was just destroyed. You can use this stratagem on a unit even though it was just destroyed. Add a new unit identical to your destroyed unit in strategic reserve at its starting strength with all of its wounds remaining. I'm probably going to say no on that one. Because, reason being, Mercenary Q. I know I can't spell. No. Purely because the unit was just destroyed, and a unit is just destroyed when all models are removed. And a unit is destroyed when all models in said unit have been removed. So they're no longer on the battlefield, so you can't be within 12, right? Because that's what Creed's ability is. Creed. Yeah, choose a unit with 12. So no, I don't think you can. Sadly. But that's the reasoning. I also Stanley who's asked the same question. Let me catch up with any other ones. With CS and Dark, let me catch up and make sure I've not missed any. Do GSC units return with single-use war gear? Yes. Because it's a new unit at starting strength. Right? Did they have an FAQ document or not? This one. Gene Stealer Colts. Add a new unit to your army identical to destroyed unit in Cult Ambush at its starting strength. Since it's a new unit, yes. It's a new unit. So yeah, they do. With CSM, Dark Obscuration... I think, but before I move into that one, I should also say vehicles using one-use only weapons via firing deck can only do it once per unit embarked. Now, this isn't a rule that Games Workshop have added, but as we talked about in the past, every time you use firing deck, you essentially add those weapons to the model. So, like, if you got like a rhino and they're shooting out, in the shooting phase, you go, okay, they add models to this new unit, and the way one-use only weapons is worded is each unit shooting this weapon can only use it once. But what it allows it to do is essentially, because it's a new weapon, it's a new one-use only weapon. So technically, you could argue that a one-use only weapon can be used every turn by a unit that's embarked from the transport, because the transport is using it and not the unit. What's the best way to bribe you for better pairings? Have a word to the people who makes the app. Anyway, sorry, with Dark Obscuration strat, wondering how this interaction works. Say you target 2 units and one is Nurgle over 12 away. This strat then gets played, so you lose those attacks and retarget. So Dark Obscuration is a really good stratagem, to be honest. I should have kept that one open, but never mind. Dark Obscuration. Until the end of the phase, units have stealth ability. In addition, Nurgle unit, until the end of the phase, you can only select to attack and range attack if the attacking model is within 12. Does it clarify this in core rules? Hey, let's talk Wargaming. How you doing, buddy? Does it? I'm sure these get clarified somewhere. Let's try new target. See if that comes up with anything. No longer, if a unit was an eligible target of an attack, or when it was selected stops being eligible for a target attack, for example, a rule enables it to make out of phase move or takes it out of range, the attacking or charging unit can select new targets for those attacks or that charge. So if you got multiple target multiple, I guess. There is that One Legion UK Patriot. Those attacks specifically can choose a new target. This means if you split fire, because it says those attacks can choose a new target, it means if you put like one gun into a unit that can now no longer be targeted and 20 guns into another unit, you can't reselect all 21 guns. It'd be just the one gun that now can't target anything. How many spots has Makai taken up Battle Wagon? Nobody know. 1? I don't know. Orc. Hey, Walking Death, thanks for being a member for 13 months, brother. Macari. Inventory character epic hero. And then battle wagon. I think that's quite obvious. I'm being dumb. Transport. Hey! Oh, Walking Death! Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Hey, Walking Death, that's super kind of you, bud. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Look at that. That's super generous, buddy. Jimmy, Free Radio Armageddon, James the Wild, Dan Hellstorm, and Bloodclaw Bob. Make sure you join our Discord for free because you're a big fat freeloader. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted, buddy. That's really, really kind of you. Thanks for being a member for 13 months. And the gifting those 5. That's really kind. And also, Organ, thank you very much for the 16 months. Oh, look, it's a Warhammer World GT Golden Ticket. Golden Ticket having champion Mikey. Sup. I'm chilling, mate. Just chilling. Me and my Golden Ticket just hanging out, you know. Me and my Golden Ticket just hanging out. How's it going? Thanks so much for the gift and thanks for resubbing, guys. Really appreciate it. We're just, I think we're at, it says 9 new members. For some reason, it says 10 here. Rejoined. We're at 9. We're at 9. That's what it says on my screen. Thank you so much, mate. Really kind of you. So it says you can each Mega Armor or Jump Pack model takes up 2 spaces. It doesn't have Mega Armor. It can trans 1 Gazkul Thraka. Gazkul Thraka takes up 18 spaces. So it's the keyword Gazkul Thraka. I don't spell Gaz. Clearly. Oh my god. Give me Thraka. Gazkul. Mercenary, thank you so much for that gifted as well. Matt Lysa, make sure you join the Discord. Mercenary, thank you so much, mate. We made the 10. We did it, guys. We did it. Thank you so much. And Organ, thank you so much for gifting that membership to Captain America Steve Rogers. Thank you, gents. Honestly, you're so kind. I really appreciate it. Honestly, you are all so kind. So, Gazkul Thraka keyword is a unit. So Gazkul, Thraka, and Makari take up no space. Who asked me that? High Spot says Makari taking up Battle Wagon. John Forsyth. High Spot says Makari taking up Battle Wagon. 0. He is part of. How do you spell Gazkul? Gazkul. Thraka. Keyword. And counts towards the 18 models. So yeah, so Gazkul Thraka. I don't think Makari takes up any space. Purely because it says it like can transport 1 Gazkul Thraka keyword. And I'm saying it's keyword because it's bold in the keyword section. If you look back at Battle Wagon. Because it says Gazkul Thraka keyword takes up 18 space. 18 models. So I think he takes up 0 space. It sits on his knee. Gang. Hell yeah, Popcorn. Thanks for all the gifted, guys. That's really kind of you all. Really, really kind of you all. Very generous. Can Infernal Master use his ability to modify the damage? Right, I really need a piss, okay? What do I do? Do I just go for a piss, disappear, or do you want a video? I'm going to go for a piss. Think about, ask yourselves, what are we all doing on planet, right? What is planet? What is Earth? I really need to wait. Sorry, chat. I just had the biggest piss known to man. Can the Infernal Master use his ability? Look, I've lost loads of viewers now. Fucking hell. Can't piss. I should have done XQC. Infernal Master. Let's have a look. Where is it? Thousand Suns. Doombolt. 7 Cabal points. Uses ritual at the start of the shooting phase. Select one enemy unit within 18 inches of the visible to this psycho and roll 1d6. On a 1, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds on 2-5 d3 plus 3 and a 6 d3 plus 6. And then the in question is about, not that one, is Infernal Master. So Infernal Master. Once per turn, you can change the result of one hit roll, wound roll, one damage roll, or one saving throw for this model to an unmodified 6. I don't think Doombolt is a damage roll, right? Doombolt isn't a damage roll. I don't think that needs answering. So no, you can't. Purely because it's a hit, wound, or damage roll, or saving throw. And Doombolt isn't a damage roll. It is an ability that has a roll. And just in case anyone's tuned in, because Balindor asked it a few minutes ago, this is an FAQ for my events, but it's probably like a good FAQ for things that are just in general that might be handy for you. The answers are all mine. They're all my opinion, or things that I've found that kind of make sense. But, yeah. With TSM Dark Ops Creation, we're now able to interaction with say 2 units. One is we've already done that one. Hellblasters and impulsors, they blow, shoot, blow up the impulsor, shoot again, and the shoot again. Maybe important to include. I don't know if that'll be super important, but yeah, that is definitely how that works. But I don't know if it'd be super duper important. Do psychic abilities deal damage need to honor lone operatives? Lone operatives is a core rule. There. No. Lone opera. Can only be selected a target of a ranged attack if the attacking model is within 12. So and this was by Aaron Behringer. Aaron Behringer. I can't spell Behringer. No, unless they are specifically ranged attacks, they are not limited by lone operative, because lone operative is can't be selected as a target of a ranged attack within 12, unless they're within 12. But an ability is an attack. This is fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We're down to the last few questions, though. Abilities of psychic tag that deal mortals are considered attacks. Are they? abilities. Abilities are considered abilities. More, I don't know how I'll have to search to find this. 17 instances of abilities. Let's have a look. Attack characters, whether attack attacks considered as same character's abilities. Attacking weapon, okay. Core abilities, no. Embarked units, no. Psychic weapons and abilities. Weapons with psychic in their profile are known as psychic weapons. Abilities are tagged with the word psychic are known as psychic abilities. Generally speaking, psychic weapons and abilities are used by psychics, but the absence of psychic keyword does not prevent a model from using psychic abilities. Okay. So that doesn't say they're treated as weapons. Any attack made with a weapon that has a psychic ability is a psychic attack. Oh, it's right there. It's right there. Any mortal wounds inflicted by an ability that has the psychic tag are also psychic attacks. But that doesn't mean they're ranged attacks. Interesting. That would be the only thing you've got. $18-inch range attack sounds like a range attack. But it's not an attack. It's not a ranged attack. It's an ability. Piss off. Any mortal wounds inflicted by an ability that has a psychic tag are also psychic attacks. But is it a ranged attack because it has ranged? Ooh. What's the definition of ranged attack? Great question. The shooting models now make attacks using their ranged weapons. Each time a model shoots with a ranged weapon, it'll make a number of attacks. So it's not a weapon, right? It's a great question, Aaron. It's not a ranged weapon because it doesn't make a ranged attack. An attack, what is an attack? Excuse me. Sorry. Using their ranged weapons. Yeah, I think so. You select a ranged weapon to make a ranged attack. The shooting models now make attacks using their ranged weapons. Make ranged attacks. Lone operative is talking about the ranged attacks. So not limited by lone operative, as they are not considered ranged attacks, though they are psychic psychic attacks with range. That's the best way I could probably answer it. I think maybe we'll have to add a tag. Add a tag that's like core rules, probably right, and then what I think. Sweet. I finally often agree on ruling direction, so I'll keep your FAQ doc on hand. I'll be publishing it as a real document, so you can have like a link as well. So back to Infernal Master. Doom Bolt is an attack. Is the damage from it a damage roll? No. It's not a damage roll. It's still not a damage roll because you roll a dice to determine a type of damage. It's not a damage roll, which is a damage roll is defined as rolling damage for a damage characteristic. It doesn't have a damage characteristic. A damage roll. Like inflict damage is actually exactly what I wanted. Inflict damage. I think no damage roll. It's not a damage roll anyway. I'm definitely sticking with that. You can't trigger D6 plus 3 mortal wounds automatically. Yeah, okay. I enjoy shop talk streams. I'd be interested how you approach trail reworking broken data sheets. That's not really what we're going to go for today, but I'm basically waiting for the first balance data set to see if they address everything. I enjoy streams though, they just find going over rules interesting. Yeah, I enjoy it as well. Following on from this question, can you play with sequencing shoot with a unit A, shoot with unit B, ability with unit A? Probably. There's no sequential order. Did you miss my Dark Commune question? What was the Dark Commune question? If you're hit with any abilities to stop you from advancing, can you still get Dark or the ritual bonuses? Dark Commune, Dark Ritual. So, obviously, yes. I did miss it. Dark Commune. Dark Ritual. Once a battle in your command phase, if this unit contains a cult demagogue model, it can use its ability. If it does, until the end of the turn, this unit can declare a charge in which it advances, and each time a model with this unit makes an attack, add one to the hit and wound roll. If you're hit with any ability to stop you advancing, can you still make a Dark Ritual bonuses? I think you need to be more specific about what can stop you advancing. Are you asking if it can't advance, does it still get +1 to hit and wound? Because I think, yeah. I don't understand why it wouldn't. Because it says it can charge and advance and charge, and each time model makes an attack. You don't specifically have to advance and charge to get the bonus. If it said if this unit advances and charges, you get +1 to hit and wound, then yeah. But it doesn't. It just says you can advance and charge, and you get +1 to hit and wound. Night Spinner. Monofilament web from the Night Spinner. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, if one or more of those attacks with its Doomweaver scored a hit against enemy unit, that enemy unit is pinned until the end of your opponent's next turn. While it is pinned, subtract 2 from the move, and it cannot advance. So yeah, so you can't advance if you get hit by a Night Spinner. But it says, until the end of the turn, this unit can declare a charge in which it advance, and each time a model in this unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit. So yeah, you can definitely still get the +1 to hit a wound, even if you don't advance or can't advance. Right? Does that need answering? Or is that just like a curious one that came up in your game? But I don't see why that's stopping something advancing would stop it getting plus 1 hit wound. Can you break the fight sequence with Custodes by using a fight first stratagem, then use the interrupt stratagem, then use Captain's ability to get free interrupt again? No, because you can. Oh no, actually, because of how I've ruled this. No, because you have to resolve it, right? That makes an interesting one. Stratagems can be triggered twice instantly on the same reaction, but not on the same unit. Example, Overwatch twice at the same unit. So could you use? No, I don't think that trigger would work. Let me have a look. So the question is, could you use fight first and then interrupt at the same time? I don't think so, because I think they do 2 different timings. Right? Let's have a look at the fight first. This is used at the start of the fight phase. To the end of the phase, your opponent has your ability has a fight first ability. You can use that twice, definitely, on the same objective. So 2 units have fight first. But then the interrupt is a different time. Counter offensive. After this unit has fought, 1 unit from units do so. Your unit fights next. So if you use 2 counter offensives at the same time, your unit fights next. So this would not work for counter offensive. This would not work for counter offensive, as they would both fight next, meaning you would choose one. The other would lose out. Great question. But yeah, they both fight next, which they can't fight at the same time because it's 2 separate units. Good question, though. I didn't think about that interaction. Oh shit, I've got to tune into the Academy Rules seminar. Have you done the bit about how Death Guard are fine and Dats and Des just needs to get good? I did tell Des to get good, yeah. Have they paid £680 for their 50-week course? I do think more people need to become members to pay for this free coaching I'm giving out. Yeah, so a good interaction there for the fight the counter offensive, but because it says they fight next, I think if you fight next and then use it on another unit that fights next, that one overrules. Whereas Overwatch is a little bit different because Fire Overwatch is like shoot, and then it can just that's it. It's just like a trigger. It doesn't say this can shoot next or something like that. This shoots now. It just says that a model in that unit can shoot, or that unit can shoot. It's a good one though, definitely. Definitely a good question. I'm glad it's been brought up because I'm sure that would come up. But we're not going to allow double interrupt. Great question though. So I think that's our FAQ for the weekend. Next weekend. Is there any other rules questions that people have had that we could go over, or is that about it? I don't think there's much more. All honesty. I think that's everything. Let me save this so I don't lose it by accident. Can you shoot and grenade stratagem? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, mate, no, you definitely can, mate. Because grenade doesn't stop you shooting, I don't think. So grenade is your shooting phase. One enemy unit from your army is not within engagement range of any enemy unit has not been selected to shoot this phase. Select one enemy unit is in range of engagement range. Not within engagement range is within 8 inches and visible to grenade unit. Roll 66 on a 4+ take 1 mortal wound. He doesn't say you can't shoot. You shoot into action? No, mate. So if I bring a bag with an equal number of 1 dice and 6 dice, all flecked with poo, is that cheating because you either roll good or roll bad? It's still decided by the dice. No. You have to grenade, then shoot. Yeah, you do have to grenade, then shoot. Can you do actions in engage range pistols? Yeah, you definitely can, mate, because you're eligible to shoot while in combat. I think that's it. I think that's the FAQ. Thanks for attending class, everyone. In study guards do shoot twice ability then action. No. No, they can't. They've shot. They're not eligible to shoot anymore. They can only shoot again. Just because they can shoot again doesn't mean they can do an action. It just says it allows them to shoot again. Right? You're asking me dumb questions now. I feel like we're at the end. I feel like we're at the end of the seminar of answering questions. Once a battle, you can shoot again. No, you can't. Piss off. Right, I think that's it. So this is. I'm going to add this to my document that I'd already had. But I think that's a really good FAQ. I don't think we need much else. So now we've got 2 options. Now I think that's the end of the rules seminar. Can you train your dice by storing them in the toilet? If you want to, but that'd be really gross. Have you ever asked your opponent what they do with their dice? I haven't. That was fun. I enjoyed that bit. So it's 1:45. I'll probably like another hour in me, I reckon. Is turn 1 strategic reserve deep strike still a discussion point for things like demon pickup, GSC, pickup, etc.? No, I think it's pretty fine. I don't know if it needs to be a discussion. I think it's pretty fine, to be honest. Make the text any bigger. I want to make my chat text bigger, but I don't know how. And don't just say make the box bigger, because I'll slap someone. Shadow font size. Ooh, I mean that like 24. Shouldn't have done that. Well, there we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Maybe we can make it even bigger. I want more chat on screen, but the more you have, the smaller the text. Font size. Let's try again. Make that 36. Oh no, that's spreading them out more. That's gross. Let me try getting closer to the screen. Shut up. I like the spacing. Does that look okay? Does that look silly? I never know if I want the full screen or not. I don't know. Do we get writer's credit on your FAQ or will be only hands anyway? You'll get a little note at the bottom. Thanks to live chat. I don't know if I like it there or I like it up top. I never know, chat. What do you think? Full screen or just top corner? Because top corner's nice. Cheers, Joel. Have a good one, mate. Anyway, we've got two options now. Do we go through? Let's do poll. Poll time. Poll time. What do now? What do now? Build Lancer. Build answer. Or WTC Poland list review. Answer do question. True, maybe don't use poo bags when you walk dog for extra luck. Carry it in the bin in your hand. We're only doing one, we're not doing both. Just to clarify. I'm just looking on Twitter, but there's nothing going on. No drama on Twitter. Linus Tactics drama. That's about it. Vod, come get a tattoo. I'm free this afternoon. Oh, Carl, I need to message you because our lass wants a tattoo. She wants to come play with your gumball machine. Carl's got one of those, like all the TikTokers that I respect him for it. Has got one of the machines where you put like 50p in and you twist it, it pops out a tattoo design. Georgie's obsessed. She really wants one. Chat, should I get a tattoo? 69% of you want me to look at polling list, but there's only 13 votes and 50 people watching. Come on now, tab in. Linus Tactics have dropped a video dealing with the drama. They are halting all production for a week as they correct their processes. Interesting. Someone's just come out an hour ago, Dextero, pinnacle of news commentary. Ex-Linus Tactics employee Madison Reeve has come forward saying his allegations including mistreatment, bullying, poor work conditions because no one gets a break. Yay, baseball. Fuck. Fuck. Why is it always blue checks? Always blue checks going out the dumb fucking comments. Yikers. Have Linus actually put a response out then? Because they put out like a fucking Reddit post and it was just like, shut up. What are you talking about? Linus. Linus Dips. What do we do now? They have put a video out. Ooh. Oh, they put out a video. So people didn't know, Linus Tech Tips in hot gossip drama right now. Because Game and Nexus put out a video saying they were basically cringe. Game and Nexus put out a video. The problem with Linus Tech Tips, accuracy, ethics, and responsibility. And they put out a video saying that Linus Tech Tips, obviously well respected, have not been clearly documenting when things are biased or not biased. And then when they do their research, they're essentially lying about the stats that they're getting out. No one answered this question, but I like the chat in the top left corner. I think I do as well. I think full screen's maybe a bit too big. I think I'm just going to put it up a little bit so it's like in line with my ear. There we go. You can't interact with right-wing owned media and expect it not to be full of idiots. Also true. Also true. Right, let's have a look at WTC list then. That's what people want. The people have spoken. Half of you answered. If you didn't want this, it's your own fault. That's how democracy works. It's embarrassing because they spent loads on a lab to do better testing. It's worse than it used to be. Oofed. I like Linus Tech Tips as well. It's really gutting. But, yeah, I'll have a look at that video later. I did Taco Bell news last week and no, everyone got really mad at me, so I don't think I can cover generic drama this week. I'll have to lay off this week. I'll do a full roundup next week of all the information when I've got it all in my head. All in my little brain. They'll fix it and be sound of it. Probably. I'll watch next week for PC tech drama. Play things. So as you might have heard, Team Poland won the WTC this week. Where's the pizza? No pizza. Yeah, Team Poland won the WTC this weekend. So fair play to them. The WTC or the World Team Championships is a funny event because they've been bragging about how they broke all of the streaming records this week because people have been really interested in watching the WTC. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I made a video about the WTC last year, kinda late to the WTC, kinda about the WTC, sorry, when the LGT was happening because they said something dumb. And long story short, I'll just open up the video and pull up the Reddit post. But essentially, the LGT account, which was run by Contact Lost at the time, and quoted Tom Adriani, the organizer of the World Team Championships. And at the time when this was quoted, I made it very clear that we don't know if Tom Adriani did say this, but it's been quoted to him, so I don't think it's fair that they did that. And it says it's perfectly understandable. This is about why the LGT didn't have a stream, and then said the World Team Championships also didn't have a stream. In terms of cheap, what you're getting returned, set up, catered to the... It was basically, the long story short was, it says it's the only reason you have a stream is to cater to the needs of those who feel entitled at home. The sense of entitlement that some people have, their zero notion of amounts of time, effort, and planning that goes into these events that span multiple systems. And I made a video about it saying that this is like a really dumb take. You know, I thought this is like a really dumb take to have. And Tom Adriani messaged me and said I was cancer for making that video, which was quite funny, because he'd been quoted as saying something dumb. I was the one who was cancer, by the way. Which made me laugh. And then this year, they're bragging about how all the streams are making like massive, breaking loads of records and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, the streams are so good. And the streams were good. But when you come out and say shit like this, that's not good. And then to say I'm cancer for pointing it out and saying it was dumb is also not good. So all I'm saying is I influenced the entire Warhammer community because the only reason they had streams this year is because I said they were dumb. Okay? And you know what? It's getting fucking annoying at this point where people are coming at me saying I'm cancer and then they have a stream and they break loads of records. Of course they're going to break records. No one gave a fuck last year because you couldn't watch it. Why would I care about an event that you can't watch? Yeah, I just won an event that you couldn't watch. Fair enough. But at the same time, don't come at me calling me. I'm happy to share a screenshot. Don't come at me calling me cancer because I said you should have a stream for your event. No one cares otherwise. To then get the stream and be like, wow, we broke loads of records. It's crazy. It's like, of course you broke loads of records. I don't know. I'm on a rant now. Those entitled French and their 6,000 strong stream. Yeah, French Wargame Studio is sat at like 6,000 viewers. Of course they were. Because it's a big event. But you can't be like, oh yeah, we broke loads of records. We're really proud. But then the year before be like, streams are only for entitled fans at home. It's like, fuck off. Anyway, but the streams did happen. Fair play to Wargames Live and all the other people that are involved doing all the coverage. Obviously, stats checks there. French Wargame Studio are also there, so fair play to them as well. Excellent people. They deserve all of the success, in spite of the dumb comments that WTC made last year. It's pretty ironic. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a pretty dumb thing to say. So in spite of the how am I gonna put this? disdain the fucking WTC had last year towards streamers. This year going like, wow, so many people tuned in. That's crazy. World record for most entitled people on stream. Yeah, literally. So anyway, this is why I didn't attend the WTC. If they're gonna copy cancer, I'm probably not gonna go. Well, the whole English-speaking world couldn't do 2K, so the French clearly love it the most. Yeah, the French and the Spanish seem to get really big numbers on live events, which is super cool to see. You know what? I love the Spanish. But anyway, Team Poland won. Fair play to them for winning. And, well, I thought I'd have a look at some of their lists. You know, they've got some... I'm not sure they've got a Space Marines list. They don't have a Space Marines list. They took... Oh, they do have a Space Marines list. Dark Angels, Custodes, Necrons, Gene Silicol, Eldar, Thousand Suns, obviously, Tau, interesting, and Astra Militarum. So let's have a look at the list I understand. So we've got Lucas playing Dark Angels, but using Gladius Task Force. So Gladius Task Force is obviously just generic Space Marines, but they're playing Dark Angels, so they use the unique units. The thing that makes and breaks the factions at the minute is the unique characters and stuff like that, unique units. Like Space Wolves become really good with all their characters, etc. So we've got character, Ancient Terminator Armor, fair. Apothecary Biologist, so Biologist with Bottle Discipline. Interesting choice, because Biologists can only attach to Gravish units. How does the WTC work? I'm an entitled person who didn't catch the stream. The WTC is to clarify, a fan-run or independent tournament. As much as they think they're much more than that. It's fine. It's a great event. It's a team event. But it's an independent tournament that invites a bunch of team captains to pick a team. And essentially, they play like a little pod system. So they'll have a bunch of teams in pods and they'll play like 3 other teams from around the world. And then they'll be like seeded into like rankings. And then they'll play like a couple more games for the win. But essentially, a team event is you have like 8 people on each side, each with a unique faction. You can't double up on factions. And there's like a pairing systems that the captains do. So like they'll go, well, we're going to put these 2 factions up and then the opponent chooses one and then vice versa. So you kind of have like an interesting pairing system where you are seeded into pairing a team, but then the individual matchups are decided by the captains. And it's all about scoring more points overall than the other team. But not like, it's not done out of 100. It's all about points differential. So like, if there's 10 points for each team available. You've got 10-10 and that's a draw. And the points differential throughout the game. So let's say mine and Adam's game the other day, we had like 81-80 win and I won by 1 point. In the WTC or in a team game, that would count as a draw because there's not enough points differential to clarify anything. So essentially you're fighting over these 10 points and the higher point differential of your actual game will result in different team points. So for example, a 10-10 is a draw. If you win by more than 10 points, I believe, I can't remember the exact difference, but if you get, let's say like a 90-80 win, your team will score 11-9 for that matchup, you know? So it's kind of like you take one from your opponent. It's like a tug-of-war system. If you actually smash your opponent, you get a 20-0. They get 0 points, you get 20. But it's all about like a points differential rather than like the final score of the game. And then it's like you have each matchup will score a points differential out of 20. And then it's whoever can score the most points total for their team. And if they get more than 10 points total, so like let's get like 86, 60. I can't remember how it's out of. It's out of 160. So you get like an 80 is a draw, I think. Yeah, so if you get 80 points, it's a draw, and you need to score more than 10 for a win. So you need to be like 90, 50 for a win or something like that. Something along those lines. I can't remember the exact numbers, but that's essentially how it works. It was actually a knockoff version of the ITC from back in the day, before ITC got soaked up by GW into the official tournament rules. I mean, yeah. So you got Captain Terminator armor with an auxiliary grenade launcher and a power fist. Now, this is some interesting tech from Team Poland. Now, let's just double check. He does. There's some interesting tech with the captains in Terminator armor and the Land Raider that's actually in this list. Now, Team Poland were actually smashing... they're actually smashing Land Raiders with grenade stratagem. Obviously, we've just been talking about the grenade stratagem. Now, the fun tech is the fact that the Land Raider Redeemer has an assault launcher on the front, which means it has the grenades keyword. So grenades, or grenade keyword, or grenade stratagem even, is one grenade unit for army that is not within engagement range. Select one enemy unit that is not within engagement range of any units within 8 inches. Roll 6d6 on a 4+. Each enemy unit takes a mortal wound. Now, this list has a Captain Terminator armor with a grenade launcher, and it has a Land Raider Redeemer. Now, Land Raider Redeemer has a Flamestorm cannon, so you're going to be charging it at things and getting it really close, and it's probably going to be carrying Terminators. But also, the Terminator Captain also has a grenade launcher, so they both have the grenade keyword. So with Rites of Battle, you can move your Land Raider up into their opponent's grill, get the Terminators out after it moves, because it's got an assault ramp so they can still charge, use the grenade stratagem on the Land Raider, and then use it on the Terminator Captain for free. Which is quite funny. Steve, thank you for being a member for 38 months at our top tier. The WTC is one of the big names in 40k along with FLG and Goonhammer. As such, there are only a few groups other than GW who are legally allowed to release community-based FAQs or suggested potential fixes to rules or rules issues or imbalances. Nobody else can do this. This is true, Ginger Steve. I'm just wrong. I'm not a big name in the 40k. That's why the WTC enjoy to call me Cancer. And I wear that badge of honor with pride. Anyway, Hellstorm nobody. Hell yeah. Because I've got to the point now where I've just decided if people like to DM me dog shit, like mean things, why do I have to hide it? You know? Why should I have to hide it? I don't think it's fair. When I'm like quite public with everything, how people think they can kind of like be mean to someone in DMs just because it's in a DM. And I don't think that's right. My DMs aren't for people to message me and calling me dog shit when they've said something dumb and they don't like it. Shows as me things Georgie DMs me. No, I won't show you that bit. That's the fun one. I want to clarify. He didn't call me cancer. He said I was cancerous. You know what? I don't think I should have to hide that. Then here it is. There it is. Time and date. So, if you're going to come at me, in my DMs, go fuck yourself. How about that? Anyway, Librarian Phobos armor. Very cool. Very epic. We've got the Biologist attaching to aggressors by the looks of it. Okay, I'll stop sending the abuse then. No, memes aside, because Popcorn Scorpion just called me dog shit. Popcorn Scorpion also just called me dog shit, so I'm going to have to block him. But the thing is just like, why do people think that's okay to message people like that just because I don't agree with your opinion? And you know what? I don't think it is. Anyway, 6 aggressors with the Apothecary Biologist, which gives them lethal hits, which is quite nice, especially on those power fists. Also on the bolters, but also sustained hit. So 6 is the hit. Not only wound, but also generate an extra hit because of the bolt of discipline, which is nice. The bright's not on some desolators, but there you go. But yeah, as Shadow said, it was a joke because when I made the community balance data slate, I was told that only Goonhammer could do it and I couldn't. Hellstorm Cancer, I am Cancer. It is said by the lords and saviors of the WTC that I am Cancer. 2 attack bike squads. Do attack bikes have an ability? I don't think they do, you know. Oops, I just searched abilities. That's not going to work. Attack Bike Squad has Outrider Escort once per turn in your shooting phase of a friendly starting mounted unit within 6 inches of the unit select target attack. If that unit's finished making attacks, it can shoot. Oh, it can shoot back, which is cool. I don't know if it has any other mounted units in this. I don't think it does. It doesn't. So 2 attack bike squads, they just move fast. They got a multi-melter on there. There's no other mount. So if you shoot one of them, the other one can shoot at you, which is kind of fun. Move 12, T5 with OC2. Not too bad. Not only Goonhammer, but why didn't you wait for big name to 40k income? It was Goonhammer and Art of War that were mentioned at the time. 10 Deathwing Knights. So Deathwing Knights are pretty fun because they're -1 damage, which makes them very tough. Deathwing Knights have reduced damage by 1, which is obviously really good. And they've got the Mace of Absolution. Excuse me. Strength 6, -1, 3 damage. That's with 4 attacks. That's really good. And they got the Flail, which is Devastating Wound and Sustained Hit. Strength 6, -2, 2 damage. And 5 attacks. They're really good in combat. They're so good. Show me your controversy. You can scroll to the beginning, Dr. Rhino. Or you can rewind 5 minutes where I was telling you who was calling me Cancer. 2 units of Plasma Inceptors. Plasma Inceptors, I think they're so good. They're so cheap for what they are. I think they're really, really good unit. Just 2 units of 3 is really nice. It's not that expensive. Deep Strike 3 away, which is super cool. We've got the Infiltrators for the Phobos Librarian, so they can't be targeted. Land Raider Redeemer, as I've mentioned, 2 Flamestorm Cannons. Has the Grenades keyword. I don't know why that was so good, but there you go. Land Raider and fucking Terminator spamming mortal wounds. Fair play. But the range weapon is 12-inch D6 +3 torrent weapons at strength 6 -2 2 damage, 2 of them, and then fucking the mortal wounds with the grenade strat. It's such a shame when Warhammer fans act entitled. We should get along and enjoy our small toy soldiers. It just makes me laugh that you can go one month go, oh yeah, fucking Warhammer streams are just for entitled wankers at home, and then go, wow, the WTC broke so many records. We're so happy to see it. And it's like, make up your mind, you know. 2 units of Sniper Scouts. Sniper Scouts are obviously good because they've got essentially Lone Operative. So there's like 3 units with Lone Operative here, 2 units of Snipers, and a unit of Infiltrators. With the Phobos Librarian, which is nice to see. Really good screening for GSC matchups, for example. With Sniper Scouts, not so much, but they're better than most units because they're cheap. Can target characters. They get stealth, so they're harder to hit. So really good. And then the Thunderfire Cannon. So no Desolation Marines. Probably want to save some points to get other units. Thunderfire Cannon slows down opposing units, which is nice for the counter charge on the Deathwing Knights. Never realised the Land Raid had grenades. I believe it's Crusader and the Redeemer both have it. Tell you what want good. Wasn't good or was good. The bit in between game audio between the players and the coaches. Interesting. But again, it's small productions and people are doing it off their own back all the time, so it's fair enough that the audio might be shit sometimes. With the Sniper Scouts going, what will be the replacement? Infiltrators with Phobos Librarian. That's one way you could do it. That's one way you could replace them just straight up. But I think the list will just change overall. It's got attack bikes in there as well, which are also going to Legends. Oh. Anyway, great list. Great list. The brick of 10 Terminator is obviously tough to deal with. If only they'd streamed last year, they might have been able to find sponsors. Yeah, exactly. And I was supposed to stream the WTC the year of the pandemic. I was asked to stream the WTC. And when it was supposed to be in Austria, and then there was loads of drama with the Tomo Gianni and etc. Pulling it back to Belgium straight after, and then they had someone else coming to stream it, and then they said no, go fuck yourself because they were trying to screw them over. So then they had no one stream it. So I'm just fed up of people getting screwed over and no one calling them out for it. That's what I'm kind of fed up with now. I'm decided I'm all guns blazing. You know? I mean, screwed over too many times by people these days. That's what's getting annoying. Ugh. I was due to stream it, and then they pulled the event, and then just like didn't tell me I wasn't streaming it, and just announced someone else was streaming it, which is bullshit in my opinion. And then when they come out and say streams are just for entitled people, and I'm like, no, they're not. That's really dumb. I'm the cancerous one. Confident Mikey, the best Mikey. Yeah, I'm just like, you know, I'm just fed up with people just taking the piss and saying dumb shit. You know, I'll never call someone out for saying something that's smart. Okay, I'm not smart enough for that. If you're gonna say something dumb and screw people over, I'm gonna call you out for it. I'm fed up with it now. That's what I use my platform for. Sticking up for people. Crazy concept. Anyway, Victor Smith, using Adeptus Custodes, no enhancement, so no Ceaseless Hunter on this one, which is interesting. Ceaseless Hunter is a really good enhancement to allow a unit to move after you move too close, which is really good. But he's got the Blade Champion for the free reroll, advance and charge, and also once per game advance and charge. Qatar have paid to WTC to be based on 2024, probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Shield Captain for the free stratagem. Stratagem alloys for the ignoring modifiers. Now, the Custody Guards at 9-man squads is really interesting. I think Games Workshop are going to be changing this soon, to be honest. There's multiple mentions about Custody Guard not supposed to be running units of 10. I think they want everyone to run units of 6. Because units of 10 are so good. But we've got 2 shields in there. Vexilia in there. So the Vexilia makes them all OC3. And it's just a lot of bodies. So when you put the character in there, it's only a unit of 10 rather than a unit of 11. So you quickly lose blast if you start targeting them. Unit of 4 as well. And then 2 Alaris. So 6 Alaris, sorry. 4 Alaris even. But 2 units of 2 Alaris. So they have the pick up put down like the Teleportarian like we mentioned earlier. So they can deep strike, go into the sky and then deep strike back down, which is nice. And they're toughness 7 with like 5 wounds, so they're quite good at holding objectives, even as like a relatively cheap point for a Terminator unit. 130 points for 2 T7, 5 wounds, 2 up, 4 up, and a bunch of shots, which is nice. 6 Wardens with the Vexilla, so 6 Wardens are obviously really good. The Wardens have if you shoot at them with something that's over their toughness, they are -1 to wound, so usually wounding them on 4s, unless you've got anti-infantry or etc. And And then they also have the once per game 4+ feel no pain. And then you got stratagems for -1 damage. So they become a super survivable unit. He's actually got 12, which is totally fair. So obviously the Blade Champion will probably go in one, Trajan will go in the other, and Shield Captain will go in another. And then he's got the Calidus Assassin for the Vect. For the one of your stratagems is 1 CP more. And then 5 Exaction, 5 Exaction. So best 35 points in the game right now, the Exaction squad. They've got 5-up feel no pain. They've got, I'm pretty sure they've got an invuln, like a 6-up invuln or something like that. And they're just really good in this sort of list because they just hold objectives, do little actions in the corners and stuff like that. And they just screen out. They're basically better Sisters of Silence because Sisters of Silence are kind of expensive compared. They're just like got a similar save. They've got feel no pain, and they're the same squad size. So when you're in cover, you got a 3-up armor, I think, anyway. So it's like it's fine. So, but yeah, they're like 40 points cheaper. Guitar pay the WTC, and that way WTC is next. Yeah, it's just I don't know, it's bollocks to him. I was talking to Nassim the other day, and he was just like, "You should go," and I was just like, "When they say I'm not cancelled, I might go." But I feel like the more I say that, I probably won't go. Anyway, we got fucking Eldar. Let's have a look. Got Altat Wayleaper. Go fuck yourself. Hate Wayleapers. Farseer. Go fuck yourself. I hate them. Fugan, which is interesting. This is the reason I can't find exaction squads anywhere. 100%. The best 35 points in the game right now. Got the Spirits here with Fate's Messenger, which is interesting. The Incarn. So Incarn's obviously fucking horrific. It's about 50% of the points it should be, in my opinion. But there you go. Guardian Defenders for getting some more Fate dice. Night Spinner for stopping advancing and indirect. Got Shadow Spectres. Shadow Spectres are really good. So these are the Forge World units. And they essentially have Fire and Fade. They shoot after they move after they shoot. Let's have a look at Shadow Spectres. So Shadow Spectres have an ability called Shades of Twilight. In your shooting phase, after this unit is shot, if it's not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to 6. If it does so, it can't charge. So they're really good for popping out and shooting stuff, and their guns are actually really good. So their guns, they have the Prism Rifle, which has 2 modes of fire, D6, Strength 4, -1 damage with Blast, or Focus, 1 shot, Strength 6, -2, 3 damage. So they can really take out some really heavy infantry quite nicely. There's 6 shots there, or 6d6 shots there for 100 points that can move after they shoot. So they shoot and then hide. They're really, really good. They've obviously got fly. They move really fast anyway. They can deep strike. Deep strike. They've got stealth, so they're harder to hit as well. And then they've just got really good. They've got 5+ invulnerable save and 2 wounds. So they're just overall. Oh no, just the Exile's got 2 wounds, sorry. Just overall a really good unit for 100 points. Really, really, really good 100 points. They got Warp Spiders for moving really fast as well. For doing actions and stuff. And then he's got 10 Wraith Guard with the Wraith Cannon. And then the Wraith Knight. So these 2 units, just going all Wraith. Got the Spirits here in there for the Wraith Guard. Let's have a look at Spirits here. I feel like most Eldar armies look like this though. There's nothing too crazy here that's like out of the ordinary. So the Spirits here has Spirit Mark. While this model is leading the unit, weapons in that unit have lethal hits ability, and each time rolling that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So it makes the Wraith Guard hit better and lethal hits. And you can add a Wraith Guard back to the unit every turn. They're not exactly easy to kill. So yeah, it's sad to say it's not a super exciting list. There is no like reinventing the wheel here. Well, there is reinventing the wheel. That's all there is. It's a good list, but it's just Eldar, so it's not too exciting. Necrons. Let's have a look at Necrons. I'm only going through the list I actually understand as well, because I can't be able to read every rule ever. So I'm not going to go through the tile because I don't know them. I made a 3D file of a Prism Rifle I'm really happy with. They have a similar flex as Gargoyles. Yeah, they're just really good. So we've got the Hexmark Destroyer in this list. Let's have a look. We've got Sovereign Coronal, Hyper Material Ablator, and the Veil of Darkness. Bit of everything. Sovereign Control on the Hexmark Destroyer. What's the Sovereign Control do again? While a friendly Necron unit is within 6 inches of the bearer, that unit counts as being led by a Necron's character. Basically, this is good for stratagems because when you like use reanimation or the protocol of the Undying Void or something like that, you get +1 model because you're being led by a character, and the Hexmark Destroyer is lone operative. You got 2 Hexmark Destroyers because they're really fun. An Overlord, another Overlord with Veil of Darkness for teleporting. Then you got the Technomancer with Hypermaterial Ablator, which is while it's leading a unit, models in that unit have stealth ability each time an attack is made when they're not within 12. You have the benefit of cover, so you might as well to hit and +1 save. Got 3 Canoptic Acanthrites. Why? What do Acanthrites do? After these units shot, select one of you that's hit by one or more of the attacks. Each time a friendly Necron's model makes the attack against that target, a critical wound increase the AP by 1. That's pretty fun. And they're range 12 with melter guns. Alright, they're pretty fun. Like those. We've got the Reanimator, we've got the Crypto Thralls. Obviously, we've got some Death Marks. Death Marks are kind of fun. Doomsday Arc, Locust Destroyers. There's loads of Destroyers. And then 20 Lich Guard. Interesting. So 20 Lich Guard has been like your board control, a bunch of heavy destroyers and normal destroyers. Like 2 single normal destroyers, probably for doing actions and stuff because they're cheap. And then 1 big unit of 2 big units of heavy destroyers. Interesting. Interesting list. It doesn't look that good on paper. Doomsday Arcs are hard to see stuff on WTC boards. But yeah, it's basically buffing up the Lich Guard and then having the heavy destroyers being better to reanimate. Keep bashing Vanguard better to save the... Instead of saving the company I work for from absolute annihilation, Mark 6 bodies infiltrate ahead looks good. Nice, Dangron. That list would have gone well into Knights, maybe. You got the Doomsdays, which will pick up Knights pretty well. And all the heavy destroyers. And the extra AP as well. But the extra AP doesn't do great into Knights because of the invuln. It's an interesting list, but I just don't think I understand it. What does a Hexmark do again? So Hexmark can use Fire Overwatch. And it has Lone Operative. Apparently it breaks down a podcast very well. That's fair. I'm actually going to give it a listen then. I don't see it, that's all. Also beat Eldo. Yeah, I just don't see it, but that's fine. Maybe they're just all just really good units, you know? Hexmark can shoot a friendly Necron is attacked within 3 inches of them. Well, he's not a very long range. He's only 18-inch range. Yeah, they can all fire Overwatch instantly, but I just don't understand. It's like, yeah, there's lots of good units, but I don't see the power. But that's just me. I just don't understand it, that's all. Hexmarks are obviously good. Lich Guard are good. Doomsday Arcs are pretty alright. It says probably there's just the spamming of the Locust Heavy Destroyers to go into any vehicle matchup and win. Or any monster matchup and win. And then Lich Guard kind of like hold the mid ground. No, fair play. Well, they obviously did really well. That's why they won, right? But anyway, there's some of the WTC list that won. Thousand Suns are probably going to be... Let's have a look at Thousand Suns before we call it. It's probably in the list. They take weird shit and make it work. That's true. So Thousand Suns, we've got Iron Man on disc, Exalted Sorcerer on disc with the Lord of Forbidden Knowledge. Infernal Master with Arcane Vortex. Magnus the Red. And a Sorcerer and a Sorcerer. Look at all those fucking Sorcerers. 10 rubrics, 10 rubrics, 5 rubrics, all with flamers. Do they all have flamers or just those ones? Yeah, they just all have... Well, one bolt gun. Flamers. 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 Flamers are really good. Flamers are what Soul Reaper cannon is quite fun. A bunch of Rhinos, Zangor Enlightened, and then Flamers and Blue Scribe. Blue Scribes are good because they've lone operative. They have a fun ability of doing mortal wounds if you're close by, but the main thing is the lone operatives are holding objectives, and then Flamers as well. This is it, Mikey. Oh wait, it's not. What do you mean? So just lots of cheating for doing the actions, and then fucking 9 million flamers. So if you Overwatch, if you want to get anywhere near them, they'll just Overwatch you to shit. And then all of the characters to do all of the damage. You got Magnus and all the Exalted Sorcerers and normal sorcerers. Pretty fun. I've not played against Thousand Suns too much. I played them once or twice. I really need to play against them more. I'm still struggling to remember every faction's rules at the minute because it's just so much information trying to take it all in at once. It's tough. It's tough, that's for sure. However, that's about it, I think. Just catching up with Twitter. Linus Tech Tips is on Dexterra now. Again. But I think that's it, to be honest, chat. We're finishing a little bit earlier than I normally do, but I do think I stream a bit too long sometimes. So, because I'm not painting, I'm going to call it now. I've been streaming for just over 3 hours and 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's quite a stream. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you've had fun. I enjoyed talking about the catch-up of Green Stuff World drama and the FAQ we put together. Is going to get published today as an FAQ for our tournament next week. And then talking about the WTC list, which is fun. And how calling me cancer is a pretty shit thing to do. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, as always. As long as you've enjoyed it and had fun, that's all I care about. If you haven't become a member, then you can become a member and make this red bar go red another day, or you could do it today and join our Discord. It's free to join, but if you want to join, get the best bit, get in the members lounge, then you can become a member for as little as £1.99 a month, or you can become a freeloader and let someone else become a member for a whole month. But yeah, so thank you very much for hanging out. I just hope that you enjoyed this stream and you don't feel like you're wasting your time. That's all I really care about. And also, I've got a cool dice bracelet because Georgie made it, by the way. I've been fiddling with it while I've been talking. Hopefully you can't hear it too much. Let's listen. You can. I got the poo dice on my wrist. That's all I'll say. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll be live again Friday with a battle report. I believe it's going to be Tom versus Billy, which should be fun. Sadly, I've got to go give the Death Watch back to Kev, so I can't play it on stream. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support, as always. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully you've learned something or had a fun time, or both. And hopefully I will catch you on Friday. If you're about this evening, I will be releasing a video from Monday talking about the presentation of how I won. I think that's everything. yeah, I think that's everything. So thanks for watching, guys. I love you all, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Bye now. Bye.